Hey, you and I have talked about this when we've been on planes before.
Yeah.
Boy, would I love to go down the emergency slide.
Sure.
Just once.
Yeah.
Don't want to have to go through the crash part, the emergency part.
Not worth, certainly not worth throwing a flock of fake seagulls from an engine for or something.
No. But with all these planes grounded at the moment, there's never been a better time.
Give us a go.
Give us a go. But then I thought,
Give us a go.
Would it be better if we have a party on the plane? We all get one drink from the service.
I've got one.
The serviceman.
I've got one of the trolleys.
You got one of the trolleys?
My dad bought me one mysteriously. When Qantas was selling its trolleys, Dad goes, "Here's a bit of an early 40th birthday present for you. Last year during lockdown, it turned up at the house," and I went, "My 40th is next year." And he went, "Yeah, no, it's early. It's early." I went, "What on earth possessed you over to that?" Yeah, no. Dad saw them for sale.
Yeah.
And him and my stepmom bought me an old ex-Qantas
service trolley.
Food and beverage service trolley, and it's got mini bottles of wine in it still. So let's use mine.
Well, I assume we just use theirs because they'd be on the plane.
Well, you just don't need a mini bottle that often, so I'm pretty happy to get. I got 100 mini bottles.
Yeah, great. So we can have the service person.
Actually, I've never felt closer to my dad because I sort of thought I didn't pick you as an impulse purchaser, but maybe you've had it all along.
So however many we're allowed.
Sure.
We all take our seats. The person comes down, we get one drink, whatever it might be, from your trolley.
Yeah, Shiraz or Chardonnay, that you pick.
Or a beer.
Don't have the beers. We can buy those.
And then...
it's got Tim Tams in it too, but they've expired.
And then, nuts, Tim Tams, whatever. And then at some point...
No nuts.
Not nuts. At some point, it's a surprise emergency slide party.
We don't know when it's going to happen.
We don't know when it's going to happen. We're all listening to maybe the same song, but through our headphones, and then it happens.
Sorry, are we simulating a flight or are we having a party?
What do you think, guys?
No, I don't think you want to simulate the crash because that is horrific.
No, I don't think we want, I don't think we want.
We don't want role playing. No, I agree.
It's like musical chairs, really. The music stops and we all know, it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
I think it's fun. You can walk around the cabin, walk up and down the aisles, and you're having fun and you're having a great time.
So you're not in your. We were avoiding the sit down in your seat and fasten your seatbelt section.
Don't need any
of an emergency.
Don't need that. But you are swilling from a mini bottle provided on the house by us because we have a contact, and then there's suddenly an exciting siren, or the R&B horn.
Yeah.
And when that goes. We know we're heading out the door. Do we get to do? They probably only let us do all the slides. They'll just do one, won't they?
Oh, great question.
Because I think it's expensive to set them off. It's like a sprinkler in the studio in here.
If we got just one, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
And then we all go down the slide. Party's finished.
Yeah. Keep a life vest.
So I'm putting it out there to the airlines. I know you're doing huge marketing drives at the moment to try because there's planes going back up in the air.
Yeah. What if we promised? What if everyone that came promised to buy a ticket with that airline, whoever gives it to us elsewhere, if you came to the party? So it's a promise to buy a future holiday.
But if we want to put it out to everybody in the podcast, we'd love that airline to fly these people in as well to the party.
We're hitting them up for a bit.
We're hitting them up for a little bit. But that's our first position.
We do like taking first position in this podcast. That's our first negotiating position.
Yep.
And then... Yeah, got to be fun to go down one. You get to do it as a air host or hostess.
One of the only reasons I'd like to be an air host.
You get to do it in training.
Yeah.
Lots, I think. I think you're always jumping down them.
Well, I imagine they'll have a training slide then.
I don't want that. I want
we
the
don't
real
want
one.
that. Yeah,
we want the real one. We want to see it.
Yes.
We want to see it open.
Yep. Done.
That's what we want.
Haim, we're bloody excited today. I haven't given you too much away here.
If you'd have asked me at the start of the year, what's the most likely thing to become a peter out, which we are becoming known for, famous for on this show, we do enjoy a peter out.
Throw out ideas.
Huge claim, never follow it up. I thought this was a red hot favourite to be one of the year's biggest peter outs.
Yes,
but instead, Peter's come back
and with gasoline, he's firing this thing right up. Haim, we're talking, of course, of our slide party.
Yes.
We threw out the other day, you and I have discussed it before on planes, where you see them at the start of every flight explaining where the emergency slide is at the emergency exits. And you're like, God, it'd be fun to have go on those slides without having to go through the trauma and panic of anything that is obviously life-threatening.
It'd be great to slide down the slide with an almost 100% guarantee of living out the day.
Yes, and we thought, if we put it out to the airlines, if there's an airline out there...
And this is the bit where I thought, okay, see you later. This is a peter out because you're not going to get Alan Joyce calling up going, oh, how's it going? Or someone from like Southern China Airlines going, look, we're not doing heaps to Australia at the moment. We fly one out and keep it off the books for you so you could have a slide party.
Well, our preferred airline, particularly as of today, Ham, Rex Airlines has reached out and said, yeah, we can discuss the slide party.
This is huge. This is a huge moment for the people of the People's Podcast because if everything goes to plan, the idea was, didn't we say we'd all enjoy a few beverages on board the plane?
Yes.
And then I think we were going to yell, evacuate.
And just then in an orderly fashion with smiles.
Yeah, fun.
Not rushed. Not rushed at all.
No.
Take your time to get out.
I might be missing an obvious example here, but I would say it's one of the only parties you ever go to hoping for the end. Like hoping for the exit.
Yeah.
Because usually that's the sad part of a good party. But this one you're like, I wonder when we get to leave. That's the bit everyone's looking forward to.
So when I saw the correspondence from Rex, I'm like, but don't they just do the small regional planes?
That was my worry.
Turns
I don't
out,
want to go down to some emergency stairs.
No, I don't want to. Anything that you could just jump yourself.
I don't want to leap off the back of a six-seater into the waiting arms of the captain.
Yeah. No, Ham, I was wrong.
They do biggies.
They do biggies as well. And joining us on the line right now is the fleet manager of the 737s.
Oh, that is a biggie.
That is a biggie. Mark Penklis, how are you, buddy?
Good, thank you.
Mark, we wrapped that you got in touch with the show. Thank you so much for doing so. That's the first question, I suppose, is one you must get a lot in your line of work when you tell people, hey, I'm in charge of Rex's 737s. Do you get people saying, I didn't know Rex was doing biggies?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, it's catching on,
Yes.
but certainly initially they said, you only fly regionally, but now we're operating 737s to Sydney and Melbourne, Coolangatta, Adelaide. So, yeah, it's catching on fast. We're
It should be Rex's new campaign. We do biggies too. The other guys are the only ones that can do biggies.
Consider it, Mark. Okay, so, Mark, you and I have had a small chat on a Zoom. And I said, you had some questions, and I said, look, save it for the group. If it's okay to pick this discussion up as a group so we can all go through the journey. But there are a few things that you told me which got me excited. First of all is you have slides.
We do have slides. Yep. There's 4 slides on the aircraft at each of the 4 doors.
Awesome.
Yep. You were also saying, though, we could possibly do this party, but we have to wait for another slide to come in from Singapore. Now, explain that to everybody.
Well, when you fire off the slide, they go off very fast. It's almost like an airbag without the powder.
Yeah, right.
But they fire off really fast, and so they do take quite a lot of repacking and some maintenance once they've been fired off. So we don't want to leave the aeroplane on the ground, obviously, for days. So we need to get a spare slide
to
replace the one that we're firing off.
That makes sense, especially when you're celebrating Rex now doing biggies. If you turned up to the airport and they said, look, there's a 20-minute delay on the flight, and you looked out the window and saw the ground crew rapidly rolling up the slide and trying to stuff it back in the door like a sleeping bag.
I suggested to Mark that I've got a mate who has used his spare tyre and hasn't got around to getting another one yet. And there's a certain excitement.
Yeah,
to
that can be. That's really living on the edge. But that's the kind of excitement you don't look for in the aviation industry.
That's what Mark said. Yeah, exactly. So how would it be deployed? Like what happens there? And basically, I should point out that you guys are happy to put on this party for us. We still have to iron out the details.
Yeah, well, there's a few things that we need to sort out. But basically, when we evacuate the aircraft or when we evacuate you from the aircraft, we open the door and there's 2 positions, armed or disarmed. So in the armed position, the slide's ready to fire off. You open the door opens up and that pulls the slide out and then it activates. Wow. And there's an air bottle that drives a big pump and then it fires all the air into the slide.
Mark, have you ever fired off one of the slides?
No, I haven't, as a matter of fact.
Wowie. Have you been down?
I've slid down plenty of them, in
Good
training.
Fun? Good fun?
But, it's great fun.
It seems like it.
But it's funny. There's a few tricks to it.
Really?
And one of them is that you actually It's sort of unnatural, but you lean forward, not backwards.
Right.
Oh,
Because
my
if you
instinct
lean-
would have been to go backwards, yeah.
That's right. But if you lean back, you actually go faster.
All right. So you want to go slower.
You want to go slower. Well, you might want to lean back, but basically if you want to slow down,
Yep.
you just lean forward, and that for some reason that just makes you go slower. And then there's sort of these deceleration pads at the bottom that slow you again, and you sort of, as you hit the deceleration pad, it sort of makes you stand up and you sort of run off the end of the slide.
Oh,
Because I imagine that's what you want in an emergency. You want everyone to be, I would have thought
Yes.
fast is good to just,
My grandma had that on her lounge chair.
yes, you can get the automatic up.
It kind of just pushed her all the way up and
Yep.
she was standing up again.
My grandma had to. I wouldn't say she ran off it though, very often when she was using that feature, and it didn't seem to do the jog off.
So, Mark, how quick are you meant to get off a plane in an emergency situation?
So the regulations that actually drive the whole evacuation process, and when they certify the aircraft, you have to get all the passengers off in 90 seconds through half the exits.
Wow.
And that's the regulation.
Wow. So that's assuming maybe the other half are not able to be accessed or whatnot.
That's
so
right.
yeah, they can each exit's got to be able to take a pretty high volume of passenger.
That's right.
Which I imagine is obviously a very, not a panic situation, but an intense situation.
Panic.
This is going to be different, isn't it? Like, it's going to be nice to have a slide situation where it's take your time.
And it's sort of interesting psychologically because the flight attendants are sort of looking after you and providing service. And then all of a sudden in an emergency, they're yelling, they're yelling to evacuate and hurry, jump.
Giving straight instructions.
Firing orders quite assertively. And it's an instant change.
Andy's there to go, well, I will, but I'm still waiting on that top up on the champagne. I was told. Right, so okay, but in our example, let's go back to our party. It's going to be fun. I mean, we could go one at a time. We can.
Hey, if you haven't had you finish your champagne, you stay there.
Yeah.
Jack, you go if you're ready.
Well, we will give people 9 minutes to get off.
Yeah.
Like, we can have a huge window.
You could do the slowest evacuation in history.
Interested in that.
I'm very interested in that. Mark, are we able to board the plane as if we are going to take off?
Yeah.
And then we don't have to travel far, but can you roll around the corner or something? How could it be set up for, to just not get on and get straight off? There is some form of journey, but maybe for a couple of minutes or something.
So what we could do is we could all get on and then we could hook up a tug to the aircraft.
Oh, yes.
You know, they push back from the terminal, and then we could get towed around the airport for a while.
Little joy. It'd be fun, little joyride.
And then we could find a nice sort of quiet spot and have a party there.
That sounds perfect.
Yes, we could.
Hey, we could.
And then when the mood hits, just when because it's sort of all about, it's like timing a good track on the dance floor at a party. When the mood hits, we'll be like, Ando, you and I will probably be in charge of the vibe.
Yep.
Just to go, I reckon.
Ready to go.
This could be slide time. Boom.
Mark, how many are we allowed? How many do you reckon we can put on a plane?
It depends how you want to do it, but I guess you could put 170 on. Somewhere between 160 and 170.
That's a big
That's
party.
a biggie.
We don't
But it's
even
a pretty
That's a big
cramped,
party.
isn't it?
It'd be a bit cramped.
We got 100.
Well,
Do we just
I
cap it
reckon
at
less
100?
than that. I reckon even. We'll come back to you on that. But I think if we've got an aisle each, then
we've got to be in a room to remember. Jack's already nodding. Jack's like, that's how I prefer to fly.
Yeah, I get back pay.
Jack thinks he's going to America on it.
No, I agree with that. Per 3 seats, one person.
That would be good.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Mark, we're going to have so many more questions.
Yeah.
So you're waiting on a slide to come in from Singapore, so you've got the spare.
Yep.
So when do you reckon that might come in?
We can get it within a couple of weeks. We just need to set a date to do it,
Great,
and
okay.
and then we'll organise it.
We'll come back to you. Thank you very much for being spoken. Thank you so much to Rex that are now doing biggies.
Your biggie specialist.
The biggie specialist doing biggies better.
Not bad at doing biggies.
So we'll come back to you. We've also got to determine how we formulate the party, how people come along to the party as well.
That's true.
So if there's no rush your end,
No.
we'll get our ducks in a row our end. But Mark, thanks so much for joining us, bud.
Pleasure.
Cheers, buddy.
Fantastic, mate. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Can't believe it. It's on.
Hame, emergency slide party update. Obviously, last week we talked about this is going to happen. Mark came on from Rex, now doing biggies.
Biggies, jamming the sky full of biggies. Rex's new slogan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and if any gaps exist, because they obviously don't tessellate perfectly together, we'll slide a smallie in there too. Now, jamming the sky full of biggies, but not abandoning smallies.
No, that's
Respect for where they came from too.
I think that is the slogan now.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
jamming the sky full of biggies, but not abandoning smallies. He came back. Mark has sent an email this time round with a few things for us to contemplate and have a chat about.
Great. They've been so
In fact,
good.
Jack,
I mean, I'm still vaguely a little bit in shock that any airline came forward and said you can jump down our emergency slide. So
Yes.
we do have a lot of love for them.
Yes. He said he can confirm that the aircraft is going to be a Boeing 737-800.
AKA.
That's a biggie.
That's a biggie.
That's a biggie.
And nice. Good that we've got a all-staff meeting level of cheer. Not a stadium full.
No.
It's probably about the amount of people we have on the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of sounds about like the guest list size.
So, plane capacity, 176 passengers.
That's at max.
But we
capacity.
think that's not going to be. Obviously, we discussed last week that we wanted to kind of go half of that at least.
Let's not forget
a quarter
too,
of that maybe.
planes are not set up for party flow. They're not event spaces.
No, exactly.
They are seated
Travel
venues.
space. Yeah, exactly.
Travel spaces.
So
This is all stuff that you would know if you've been on one, and that, if you haven't, get on one and have a quick look.
Yeah.
They are travel spaces. So there's no circulation happening at the party. It'll just be everyone sitting. But maybe, what did we say, about 60? You can flow
I think we're
around.
going to go with
About 80?
40 and you can get a +1.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly half capacity. So
He said that's
got-
not including 2 pilots and 4 flight attendants.
Do we need both pilots
That was my thought.
taxiing?
It's like, so if you missed this, we've got Rex Airlines we've always been on planes, and we've thought when the emergency slide kind of demonstration happens, you think, gee, it'd be nice to go down there.
Wouldn't it be nice to do one? Yeah, without the obviously
harrowing emergency situation you have to
the
do,
downs.
preceding it, yes.
the downside of the emergency.
Well, that's a question for Mark. Well, I'll put that down as a question mark. Do we
need to? I mean,
is it towed around the airport?
It's a tow, isn't it? You don't need 2 people for a tow.
We might not need any.
Yeah.
We might be able to do it.
It's just taking the
one
handbrake off, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's just taking the hand.
He says there's a diagram of where the handbrake is.
That's it, really. Because what do they do when a plane's parked illegally? They don't put pilots in it. They just tow it.
He said, do we want it catered?
Um,
I don't think so.
Look,
We want,
I offered
we want
up
drinks.
And
I
we
offered
want
up
those
the
little
trolley.
snacks like pretzels and chips and stuff.
Yes, we want traditional plane snacks.
Yeah.
I offered up the trolley. I do have the trolley.
They've got their own.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking for some use for this trolley my dad bought me. Well, I suppose we do want mini bottles of wine and stuff and beers.
Yes.
I miss it.
So
I love the
here's-
half cans.
Here's the.
I know this isn't I know it's not a current day thing, the half can.
Yeah, it used to be half cans, didn't it?
Did they ever do beers in half cans?
Yeah.
They did do beers in half cans, didn't they?
I think
I
so.
remember they do soft drinks in half cans.
Here's a bit of a tease. There's always going to be a bit of red tape.
There was always going to be red tape when you're dealing with airline stuff.
We can't drink or can't really party. Well, you can party, but in your own seat. You can't really party until we're at a standstill. So while taxiing, you have to go through
That's all
normal taxiing procedure. We're fine with that.
Yep.
We'll pre-game while we're taxiing.
Yeah. Yes. So we will taxi. They'll find a spot, and then we party.
Do we give people? I think you could have 2 drinks for taxiing. Is that Can we just give everyone 2 drinks as they come on, and you can just?
Oh, because you
have
can
2
bring on
drinks
your
for
own
taxi?
drinks, can't you?
Can you bring on your own drinks?
No, well, sometimes you get service before the plane takes off. So it's
They-
not. It's we
but
could get a drink or two before we start taxing.
Well, you know what,
that's a good point, Jack.
another
But you're
fantasy that I've
Jack's talking about business because I've never been offered a drink in economy, so it must be very nice, Jack.
Things are looking quite nice in the old home. Picked the right time to build your own home, didn't you? Pre-boom. Interesting.
So,
okay,
if we had, this is an interesting question. Then again, he said there are 12 business seats and 160 odd economy seats. I think we just all go to economy.
do we have a must be nice section?
Do we have a must be nice section?
I think we have to have a lost touch with the common man section.
Okay.
Do people get randomly selected to go in there, or do you dob people in, or do you put forward an application? So I think I'd like to be in the lost touch with the common man section because of X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
Or do we give it to people who don't get the privilege to go?
That's nice.
Must be nice. I've lost touch
I've
with the common man.
Never had a biz.
Give it to the commonest of men and women.
Okay, you've got to explain why you're the most common man or woman, and we will then give you the opportunity to go and lose touch up the front.
That's a good idea. So what, in a form, there'll be a form to go and register. We'll work that out next week.
List your commonality. Give us how in touch with the common man or woman you are.
Yeah.
And then if we deem you to be the most in touch, then surely you'll be able to survive losing touch for an hour as you go up into and when you're in the business section, you're allowed to go back into economy, but they do have that sign on planes where it goes, no one is allowed past here.
Yeah.
Into business. You know how they have that sign that goes, you're not allowed past this point unless in the event of an emergency, which we will have.
Yes.
Which I always have enjoyed because it does make you think that one time there was an emergency and no one went into business. They're like, we're not allowed to go at the front. Yes. Oh, we should change the sign. We should let them know that there is one time they can come into business.
So, great. Okay. That's a good thing. We'll add that to the form then and then we'll pick those people.
Can I just say, back to the drinks, one of my fantasies I've always had on a plane, you know, when they go, okay, guys, we're about to take off, but you aren't allowed to drink your duty-free on the plane. Like, you've bought your duty-free, we know it's just sitting up there. You got 4 litres of Johnny Black.
Yeah.
But on Bali, they really put a lot of emphasis on this. I've noticed the flights to Bali, they really tell you, again and again, are we all clear? It looks like it's almost the tone that I see the coaches at Auskick use with my 7-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, Jetstar flight, whatever, hands on heads, listening. Is everyone listening? You cannot drink your duty free. Hands on heads. Jason. So they really hammer that home. Yeah. But do we say you can bring 2 cans of something along with you and you can pretend it's duty free?
Let's ask that.
For the first time ever, you can drink your duty free.
BYO duty free.
I mean, it's going to have to obviously be pretend duty free,
yes,
but
the feeling.
Maybe we could get the bag so you have that feeling of ripping open the bag.
Yeah, great. Okay, really like that. Melbourne Airport are in. They're excited to have us.
That is good.
That's a cheer. Thanks, Jacko.
I think the problem with that cheer sound effects is you just right at the start, you hear someone sort of sarcastically go, ooh. Can you play it one more time, Jack?
Oh, no, it's a whoa. It's like, oh, gosh, that's good news.
I thought I detected a low gusto woo.
The date of this will be June 16th.
Hooray.
That doesn't need hooray.
Okay, I thought we were waiting for the sound effect.
It's an outdoor event. We're going to slide outside, but there is a wet weather contingency with a giant hanger. But I like the idea of just using the emergency slide outside.
I assume it's an all-weather slide.
Well, yeah, I know, but I think if it's really woolly. That's a good question. If it's really bad outside, like a squall,
water slide,
would we like to still do an outdoor slide, or would we prefer?
Let's ask if we can decide on the day during the party.
Can we decide? Can we decide during
custom slide venue?
How will we do that as a group? Hey,
it's the same way you do in an emergency. Guys, I'm so sorry. We've come down. Now we've got a few options here. Who would like to slide on the dry side? Like, where would you like us to bring the plane down?
Yeah.
What do you think? This feels a lot like organising a wedding where you go, do we get a marquee? Do we not get a marquee?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be an extra $8,000 for the marquee.
Yeah.
Do we gamble and go, it's going to be good weather? You know, generally that happens, that discussion goes on for 2 or 3 weeks and then you always decide to get a marquee.
Yep.
So do we just ask, it'd be great to ask, you know, can we decide on the day if there is a spare hanger? If we have to make the decision now, we probably do want a hanger for.
Well, they've got one for us. They're saying that they've got the backup.
Well, great. Well, let's just have one there. And if we need it, we need it. We park in there. And if not, we'd love to do it outside.
Okay.
There is some low gusto cheering in that cheer. I think that's what's bothering us.
Let's forget the cheers for now.
Yeah.
All passengers, a bit more red tape, a bit more RT.
Yep.
All passengers need to be seated whilst taxiing, deploying to the location.
That's okay.
Within the airport. We're fine with that. All passengers will board through a boarding gate, which is fine. My final question is, there was another email.
Not the bus and the stairs.
Not the bus and the stairs. I think we're using a finger.
Wow. We've got fingers and biggies.
Yeah,
that should be Rex as well. I mean,
I think we're using
I just assumed we'd be on the bus and the stairs.
I'll confirm that. But yeah.
Okay. Because if they're doing fingers and biggies.
Yeah, that is a huge, isn't it? Yeah. And then in-flight entertainment.
We are the entertainment. The party's the entertainment.
So we don't need anything else.
Switch it off.
There was another email that came in that said, do you need a DJ?
Yeah, that's something that's more like it.
Yeah.
What's the mic input for when you get on the mic and you do the announcement?
Yep.
What is that, a 3.5mm jack? Is it a phono jack? Is it an aux cord?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if a DJ could come and plug into the in-flight system, I'd like, obviously the captain would chat and then go, now hand it over to, who is this DJ? Sally or whoever?
He's from Brisbane.
Right.
He said he'd happily make his own way.
Yeah, okay. Hey guys, this is Brett. He's got the aux cord. He's going to DJ from now on. I've done the safety stuff.
Can you plug in your own music? Great question. Would we then have the DJ in business class, or would we run a long aux cord?
I think I want him in the galley.
All right. Okay, so he's in the
Because isn't that where the phone is?
Yeah, but everything would have to be strapped. So he
would have to sit down, wouldn't he?
He'd have to sit down. No. So basically, he stows his DJ gear, and then when we up in the air and safe, where we're safe after taxiing,
I see what you mean.
He gets it all out and he plugs it all in. Is that what you're thinking?
I think I want music for the taxi though. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. So let's get a long aux cord.
No, we'll ask Mark.
Okay, so I'll ask you. This is my ideal scenario. He runs a long aux cord and can have a slimmed down DJ set up that he's able to hold on to while we're taxing. I don't think we give him a business class seat.
A carry DJ set.
Yeah, I think something that he can hold on to, iPad size, because you're allowed to hold those during taxi.
Yep.
Anything bigger, I think you do have to stow. So he holds it. He's got a slimmed down DJ set. He's running a long aux cord from seat, 44B or whatever. We'll gaff it to the floor with the, do not trip on, don't rip this out. This is the aux cord. This is for the DJ.
Yeah.
We run it up to the thing and they plug it in there.
Love it.
And then, because you don't get you don't get to sit in the VIP as the DJ. That, you can play to the VIP.
Yeah, that's very true.
He's not there. He's there to work.
Final thing that came up that I covered off myself, and I hope I didn't, overstep here. But Mark said, look, for safety, should everybody come out and do a safety practice slide on our practice facilities, or would you agree to just all do it safely? And I said, we agree to all do it safely.
Of course we do. We absolutely swear we'll do it safely. Because if we all do the practice slide, we've done it.
Slide. Yeah, exactly. So I think that'll mean there'll be a waiver. Now, I know there's a bit more red tape, but everybody that's thinking of registering, and we'll open it next week, there'll we will heavily waive you. Yep. Okay. Let's not have another brainstorm like this without Mark being on, I reckon, because he could have answered all those questions for us, but we'll get him up.
We're good.
We're not far away from this.
Emergency.
Slide. Yeah, please, that we've got an opener now.
Dreams come true. Dreams do come true. This is happening.
Yeah.
What started as just a wish of just one of those, wouldn't it be great to do this? Suddenly, we are staring down the barrel of everyone evacuating down an emergency slide off a big plane, a 737.
Yep.
Boeing 737.
When a segment gets an opener, it's like a commitment ring from the show, isn't it? It's like,
We're doing this. We officially
It's like
swear
we've got-
you won't be a Peter out.
Yeah.
You will not be one of our world famous Peter outs.
We've been dating for 6 weeks. Let's
We'd
make
like-
this official.
We'd like to Peter in with you. Having said that, I bet an alert listener could tell us a time we had an opener and it's still Peter.
But at least
sure
it
there's
shows
been
a bit of commitment.
At least it shows a definite intent to not let this Peter out. And we're all engines go on this. We're not. We're one engine idling and we're getting a tow.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not at full throttle on this idea. We're at full throttle on the idea, but the plane will not be at full throttle.
No.
We will have 80 people on board a Boeing 737 will be taxied to an appropriate spot somewhere at Melbourne Airport.
Rex Airlines are our heroes here. They're now doing biggies.
Doing biggies.
In the sky.
Jamming the air full of biggies. Some smallies still available to plug the holes that couldn't be soaked up by the biggies.
Yes. Smalls when necessary. Smallies when necessary.
Smallies when necessary. We'll play it as we see it.
We'll plane it. We'll plane it.
We'll plane it. We'll plane it as we see it. You've got to plane the cards you dealt.
So I think they're still summing up whether to use any of
not
those
crazy.
taglines.
Has anyone used Plain and Simple?
Plain
Just
and
for like a low-cost airline?
That's nice.
Rex. Plain
and simple. Now doing biggies.
Now doing biggies as well. Jamming the sky full of biggies, plus fingers. We use fingers at the airport. Smallies where needed.
Plain it as you see it.
Playing it as we see it. Planning it as we see it. Thanks for reading. Looking forward to having you on board with us soon.
We'll ask Mark is going to join us next week. He's in charge of all the fleets, and we'll ask him whether they've considered taking on any of the plain and simple, but any of the other slogans we've suggested.
We have had a few people who've seen creating memes, doing mock-up designs of the Rex planes, like putting a "Now Doing Biggies" slogan on the side. It looks good.
Yeah, very good.
Gets your attention. Really does.
We'll pop one of those up at our pipes.
You look at the Rex plane, and it still is wild to see the Rex logo on one of the biggies on the big jet, and it's nice. It's nice to see a slogan going. That's what I was thinking. I think a good slogan makes the consumer go. Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Funnily enough, Ham, another I won't name what company, but another airline reached out a bit too late, saying, we heard about the idea.
We do biggies too.
And I said, we
always done biggies. We know you have Qantas. No, I'm not saying it was them, but that would be a poor campaign if they went with, well, we've always done biggies because it looks defensive.
I said to them, sorry, thank you, but sorry, you've missed the boat here on this one, or the plane on this one.
Flight's closed.
We've gone with Rex, who are great. And he said, really, do they have a plane big enough? And I got to say,
he didn't know.
He didn't know that they were doing. I said,
not even the other airlines have noticed.
Yeah, exactly. So they didn't. At that point, they didn't know. And I got to say, no, they're
cocky
doing
bastards. I bet they did know. I bet they did. They're just refusing to acknowledge.
Yep.
They're refusing to acknowledge that Rex are doing biggies now as a power move.
Yeah,
they know full well they're doing biggies. That's just a.
Well, I got to say, no, they're doing biggies. And it just rolled off the tongue. It was quite good.
But it is a really good power move now, because if someone steps up a level, like it's sort of like, I don't know, you get your first game in AFL.
Yeah.
And your mates are going, when are you going to get a game, mate? I played a game. Are you playing? Oh, right. Did you make it? Did you get a game? Yes. 3 games now. All right. Yeah. Didn't know.
Looking forward to that first goal. I've already hit the goal.
I kicked 2 on debut.
Hey, Rex, we love them. And we'll talk to Mark next week about ironing out whether they've got an AUX cord where we can plug the DJ straight into it. People, though, on the main part have been going, how can we get and be a part? We want to use the emergency slide. Hear us.
And I'll tell you why you want to. I know we're about to announce this, how we're going to do it, but I'll tell you another thing that occurred to me during the week of why you want to come to this party. It's not just the fun of the day, which will be fun, and it's not just the fun of the moment, which of course will be really fun when we go down the slide. Once the waiver is signed, we'll touch on that, I'm sure, later. But there are some risks of some quite bad injuries.
Yeah.
But everyone will be fine.
Ankle stuff.
Nothing
life-threatening, just some ankle stuff.
Just ankle stuff. And and that won't be how it's worded in the waiver. Yeah, I think it'll be quite specific in the waiver. But
Look out for ankle stuff.
this is us also, and it's an extra layer of legal protection.
Yep.
This is us clearly broadcasting, saying we did warn you of some ankle stuff. Wear a brace if you're super scared. Well, imagine you did, and that's what injured you. You just landed awkwardly on the brace. Hey, I might be moon booting. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Yeah.
But as well as the fun of doing all that, going down the slide, running away with, going, the rush of going, my ankles are intact.
Glad I wore basketball boots.
glad I wore a double moon boot, and you'll get that feeling as well. But you know what the real benefit of coming to the party is? From now on, whenever you're on a plane,
I agree.
Right, for the rest of your life, and they go, okay, in the event of an emergency, we deploy the slides, you can turn to the person next to you and go, I've been on one of those.
Yeah.
Which I don't know anyone that's ever been on one.
Yep.
And you will be a celebrity on every flight. Yeah. You don't actually, I take it back, don't turn to the person next to you, sit up and turn around and say to the plane, I've been on one of those. Everyone will want to know about it.
And they'll go, was it scary? And you go,
yeah, broke both my ankles.
I broke both.
That's why I was wheelchaired to the plane. I still have, it was a few years ago now, and I was quite a fair bit of bone damage.
No. Very safe. Very safe. But there is
just
a waiver.
Flagging. Just flagging.
Anyway, hey, this is the announcement.
You have to get up in your chair just using your arms because you won't be able to push off the ground. You don't want to put any extra pressure on your ankles.
So here's something I'd like to be extra clear about. As clear as being about the ankle stuff.
I thought it was another ankle warning. It's like, come on, we've over-egged the ankle stuff. No one's going to register.
No, we're all good on the ankle front.
Well, we can't say that. Stickler.
Anyway, Ham, get yourself to Melbourne if you want to come. This is one that if you register, don't
just
expect us to get there. But it'll be a short and a flight worth it. You'll be able to prop yourself up on the flight back up to where you've come from and say, hey.
Guess what? Yeah, I've actually been on one of those slides earlier today.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to get, so if you're registering, make sure you can get yourself to Melbourne.
Yeah, June 16 it's going to be.
June 16. The
flights and accommodation, absolutely not included.
Not included at all. Emergency slide, access included, party included. Here's how we're going to do it. You'll go to hamishandandy.com. You can go there now. There doesn't need to be a stampede because what we're going to do is there's 40 people per plane with a +1. So register yourself at +1. You can say, I don't want a +1, that's fine. But we just thought, what a great experience to share with a friend.
You'll find someone. Someone.
Take someone to a party. There's 40 people per plane, then plus there with a +1, so 80 people per plane. Once those 40 people have registered, that'll create a ticket for you for flight HA 001. The next 40, HA 002.
Yeah.
Then HA 003, and so on and so forth, depending on how many people come in.
You can only register once.
Yep.
But however many people register, let's say we get 400 people registering, that's 10 flights.
10 flights.
Only one of those flights will be chosen as the winning flight.
Yes. On next week's episode, it's up now. Let's leave it up it's going to be up for 5 days. Okay. So register, you got to get there in the next 5 days because we'll pick the flight next week so everyone can make their plans if they've got to get to Melbourne.
So we will then have people up. Am I right in saying this, Anna? We get someone up from every single flight, a representative from every single flight.
And then we're going to start cancelling flights.
Cancel flights. We're just going to cancel.
Yeah. Which Rex doesn't do.
No. We can't stress this enough. That's Hamish and Andy Airways cancelling.
Yes.
Not Rex.
No, very reliable.
They try their hardest not to cancel.
They're very reliable.
What another potential slogan? We try our absolute hardest not to cancel. And then we cancel. I mean, this is,
we won't,
this is 2020.
Yeah, if there's heaps and heaps of planes, we won't bother cancelling so many, but we'll cancel a bunch and then we'll say one flight number is boarding soon. You'll have your ticket. Your ticket will be emailed to you. You can look at that ticket and like a lottery. I don't think it is, though, for terms and conditions. You can go...
Well, it's a game of happenstance.
It's a game of happenstance. You can go, yes, my flight is going, and then you'll be on the emergency slide party. Head to hamishandandy.com now.
Very simple.
If you've got a +1 in mind, let them know. They can register and take you as a +1, which would double your chances.
Do you have a friend with sturdy ankles?
Yes, exactly. I think, no age limit.
Oh, because you're thinking of frail uncles.
Yeah, frail uncles. I was just thinking if someone had a frail uncle.
No, ankles.
Oh.
Do you think we've been talking about uncles this whole time? Snapping uncles? I broke both my uncles on mum's side, one on dad's side.
Landed on both of them.
I don't know what they were doing there, but they did warn us there could be a pile of uncles at the bottom of the slide.
No,
ankles.
I knew it was ankles. I thought we'd changed.
Right.
I thought we'd changed right at the end to frail uncles.
And aunts and grandmas and grandpas.
Yeah,
no, just strong bones is what we want.
Yeah.
Leg bones specifically.
Look, any age, because there'll be a waiver.
Absolutely. You got a frail uncle? Bring him.
Send him down.
We don't care. Send him down and listen for the snap.
Ahoy to my maverick, Hamish.
Ahoy, permission to buzz the tower.
Yes, and ahoy to my goose, Jack.
I haven't watched it in a long while. Did Goose die?
Spoiler alert, mate. A lot of people
I think
haven't
he
got
did.
around to watch. Yeah, we know he has, but we've watched it. But some people haven't watched Top Gun yet.
I've gone flight themed because we've got our plane party, emergency slide party coming up soon.
And if I'm Mav and Jack's Goose, you're either Iceman Ando, our cocky enemy for 95% of the film,
which would make
or
sense
you're
being the beer boys,
or you're the plane.
The only other character.
The plane, for people that haven't seen Top Gun, the plane is a well-featured character. The plane will come out to the boys after a long day of flying and hang at the bar with them. The plane plays volleyball with them. He's really one of the guys, the plane.
Yes. Hey, also ahoy to Paul, keeping with the aeronautical theme.
Of course.
Cheers, Paul in Howard Springs.
G'day, Hamish and Andy and podcast hobbyist Jack. It's Paul here. Just wanted to say it's great to have you back after your government-mandated break.
Yeah.
I'm currently here in Howard Springs, 7 days into my government-mandated quarantine after operating a repatriation flight from London. Knowing that I would be spending some time here, I've saved a few episodes. Some are a bit behind and this might be old news by now, but can I just say the chances of getting down in an aircraft at emergency slide are lower than Jack paying full price for anything. It's not zero, but it's very unlikely. Best let that one peter out, I think. Anyways, keep up the gusto, and I'll hopefully have this uploaded by the end of the week. Wow. Flying a plane from Europe to Australia is certainly easier than trying to upload this to your website.
I hear that.
If only there was some kind of app where we could share media files easily. Have a good one, fellas.
Paul,
legend. He's hitting all the important stuff, Paul. And what a hero though.
Great man coming back. But also bad news for good news for us, bad news for him. It isn't a peter out.
It's not a peter out. It's raging hot.
It's raging hot, isn't it? Because our emergency slide party is up and running. We opened up the entries for it. Mm-hmm. Over 10,000 people have registered to want to come and go down an emergency slide off a plane without the emergency.
And that's the number of people that we can confidently say in Australia that would self-nominate themselves to have stronger than average ankles.
Because it's become a theme.
You wonder, I mean, I think we covered it pretty thoroughly. We legally had to, but we have covered it thoroughly, just how vulnerable your ankles will be on this slide. Eliza from our team has already opted out. She said it's quite known that she comes from a weak-ankled family.
Yeah, and we suggested go down face first. She goes, got weak wrists.
So
how's
the neck? Pick your point of failure is basically what we'll say to people before you go down. Where's your least likely point of failure?
No, everyone is going down feet first. Let's make that really clear.
We don't want to lead out with the good game. The good news is we've had 100 people get down the slide and that's 200 fresh ankles. The bad news is, 61 snap necks. We found a loophole to protect ankles.
Hey, we're going to get Mark up from Rex Airlines next week to answer some questions. Mm-hmm. I reckon they started all, this is great, go nuts. And now with the ankle talk from last week and now getting a bit more worried about
I thought we did a good job of highlighting the ankle danger.
But
can you imagine the scene on the tarmac once we're down, just everyone walking around like just a celebration of strong ankles?
Yeah.
Just the dancing that will be happening on that tarmac, people kicking each other as hard as they can in the ankles because they know that they're amongst some of the most robust ankles in Australia. It's going to be wild.
Amazing amount of people that have applied.
So many.
Which is so great. Lovely. And we only had it up for 4 days because we wanted to draw it today. For people who don't know if you're new to the podcast, welcome.
Welcome. There'll be a lot of people standing by, a lot of people eagerly listening to this, knowing they've put their name down on the list, that those 10,000 people. The way we did it, Ando, how many people per flight was it divvied into?
40 plus one. So of the 10,000, there's possibly 20,000 people that have entered. Just 10,000, maybe no, or maybe they're all the plus ones. But yeah, they get divided into planes of 40. So the first 40 people to register would have been on flight HA001.
Yep.
And then on it went up all the way to flight HA262. That's a lot of flights we've got.
It's a lot of flights,
booked.
all with 40 people on them. They are booked now. You don't know who's on your flight. They're all you're randomly assigned a seat on those flights, but they're chockers. 40 tickets per flight. The way we're going to do this is we've got representatives from each flight, randomly selected representatives that represent their entire flight. Now, it's been the spirit of the last 12 or 18 months that, flights get cancelled. You think you're flying, you're not. Everyone's been through it. Everyone's had trips delayed, postponed, whatever. H&A Airlines is not the most renowned airlines.
No.
So what we have here is,
Rex
as you said,
is fantastic.
Rex are great. That's why we really needed to make this clear that we've invented a fictional airline here, H&A Airlines, that are the ticket holders.
Yes.
And we're behold, as we cancel almost all our flights now before your very eyes.
There's 262 flights going. We're going to cancel 261 of them.
Now, this is an absolute nightmare scenario for you if you're in air traffic control.
Yep.
Where you turn up one morning and you go, okay, we've got one runway slot left. How many flights want it? 262.
Yeah.
Well, I've got some bad news for the front desk of that airline. There's going to have to be a few announcements made.
Hey, you're going to be on the front desk. I understand you've got yourself a little...
We can switch my mic. We can make it an announcement.
Yep. Can you give us a bit of that for us? Your best flight desk voice?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I assume you're all very excited to fly, and so you should be. Keep that excitement sky high, although for most of you the plane will be earth low. You will not be taking to the sky. Thank you.
Perfect, Ham. Well, let's get into it. Sarah is standing by. She applied. Sarah, ahoy to you.
Ahoy. How you going, guys?
Very well. What flight number were you allocated?
Yes, number 246.
246.
Quite up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They've all got the same amount of chance?
They do. It's been randomly picked. Off you go.
G'day, everybody. Oh, no, sorry. Someone's annoying me here at the desk. Hi, everybody. Just for all passengers on HA Flight 246, we're very pleased to announce your flight is cancelled.
Why are you so pleased?
I let the cat out of the bag a bit there because we're pleased. We're pleased from behind the scenes because we have a lot less to do now. We don't have to get the flight out there. We save on fuel. We don't have to call the other end and let them know a flight's coming in. Like, from our side of things, our day just got a lot easier. From your side of things, bummer.
Sarah, Sarah, how was the bedside manner from getting a flight cancelled? Sorry to be giggling so much because you've just found out that you're not going down the emergency
You got
slide.
close.
Gosh.
How was the bedside manner, do you think?
I think there's room for improvement, but it was a little harsh.
I'm looking,
But
I'm looking at your
it
form
gives you a
here,
nice
Sarah. It says you're a physio.
Yes, I'm a physio student.
We
Could
would
have
have
used you.
for ankle strapping.
However,
Yeah, exactly.
a bit of a silver lining. We will we'll certainly be giving a lot to the physio community the day after.
Yeah, put in a good name for me, please.
You will absolutely, because you'll see a ton of people come hobbling through the door post slide. So we've done our bit.
Sarah, thank you very much. We'll unfortunately move off,
that's cancelled.
Sarah, but that one's cancelled. Amy joins us. Ahoy, Amy.
Ahoy, boys. How are you?
Very well.
Very good,
We
Amy.
know the flight number that has won. What flight are you on?
I'm 30.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, passengers. Bit of a special announcement for everybody who's got a ticket for HA Flight 030 or 30 in land people chat. But in the airline, we say 030. How are you? Good to hear. Good news, your day's just freed up. Your flight's cancelled. So,
How was that?
kindest regards.
Amy.
Bong bong.
Amy, that's obviously a devastating loss for you, but
Apologies
was
there, Amy.
was the bedside manner better? Did you hear the original one?
I did, yeah.
Getting
I think
better.
it's getting better.
I think it's getting better.
I think there's more gusto. Just the standard, I think.
It's the same for all workplaces, really. You'd all love a bit more gusto, but I think, to
So
be
we can
fair
do.
to Hamish, I think you're giving the exact level that people would expect from someone delivering that kind of news.
I
But
think at first it would sting if you're at an airport and you got that news, but then afterwards you go, well, at least they're having fun with it. You know, like,
yeah, exactly.
you know, chin up. Like whether it's a high gusto message or low gusto message, the flight's still not taken off, so you might as well have a bit of fun about it.
Ahoy, Abby. Thank you, Amy. Ahoy, Abby. Are you there?
Ahoy, boys, yeah.
What flight number are you?
I'm 93.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Good afternoon, passengers, all awaiting takeoff on HA Flight 093. Good news and bad news. The bad news is your flight is closing soon. The good news is if that is panicking you, relax. It's also cancelled. Phew. So that's nice to know you don't have to rush to the gate. Have a great day.
Abby, it's not. It's very rare on radio stations that they do the on-air.
I'm just realising,
letdown.
there's a reason
there's
you
a
just
reason
do the winners and get the woohoos.
Would you like to? Normally on a radio station they would cut together a package of people woohooing and winning. Would you like to throw an insult at us?
Son of a bitch!
We can cut together a package of people that were bitterly disappointed with the way we ran the contest.
I liked the way you've done it. It's funny.
Thank
It's
you.
better than I did, isn't it?
That's nice.
Thank
That's
you.
really nice,
Thank you
Abby.
so
We
much.
appreciate that. Okay. Abby will leave. She was very lovely, as are all
Yeah.
listeners. Marcus joins. Ahoy, Marcus.
Ahoy, boys. How are we?
Very well,
Great, Marcus.
mate.
What flight
number?
What flight number are you? Yeah.
134.
134. Okay.
Good afternoon, passengers. Hope everyone's having some great fun. You've probably seen a few miserable faces around the terminal. Try not to let that spoil your day. Bit of a special announcement for all passengers awaiting takeoff on HA Flight 134. No one likes feeling left out in life, do they? So in a bit of... A nice way of looking at what I'm about to say is you're joining the rest of the crowd in the terminal who are heading for the exits, and you too may go home. Unfortunately, your flight is cancelled, leaving you plenty more time to shop at Oraton or get a Boost juice. Perhaps buy something for an upcoming kid's birthday at Seed. Thank you.
Sorry.
Marcus, I'm afraid. Marcus,
can't win
bad
them all,
luck.
boys.
You can't win them all,
You
but thank
cannot
you
win them
very
all.
much
Can't even win one.
for registering. Okay, we move on to Laura. Laura,
Okay.
ahoy
I mean,
to you.
we could do this all day.
Ahoy, boys. How are we going?
Very well.
Very good,
What
Laura.
flight number are you?
254.
All right at the top. Okay. Good luck.
G'day guys, it's us again. Hamish and Andy, flights here. We're having a stinker of a day. We'll be honest with you. We know we're annoying everyone in the terminal with these updates, but if you are flying on HA flight 254 and you have a ticket, in a surprising turn of events, try not to rub it in everyone else's faces, but you guys are taking off. Please proceed to the gate. Yes, you are actually flying flight 254. We can't believe it. You can't believe it. You're going to the slide party.
Oh, boys, you've made my week, my month.
That's what we aim to do here. I'll get off the mic.
That's what we aim to do here at H&A Airlines.
I must admit, it's not as funny as cancelling a flight, but it's certainly
It's
more
not as
triumphant.
Actually, Jack, can I get it back on the announcement mic?
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry guys, us again here at Hamish and Andy Airlines. I don't want to jam up the rest of your day. If you just missed the last announcement, HA flight 254 is not cancelled. But if you're familiar with our airline, that means if you do hold any other ticket, please head home or continue to enjoy the cheap parking rates and cheap retail prices we offer here at the airports and have an enjoyable day shopping. Hooroo, you won't hear from us again.
Laura, you are the only flight taking off. Anyone with ticket
The
254.
skies are yours.
Quick question we have to ask. How strong are your ankles?
They're feeling very mighty tough.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
That's
what's the
exactly-
last thing you did that made you think, my ankles are not bad?
Oh, look, mate, I'm a regular trampolinist. I'm all over this.
Great, we've got the right people.
Okay, we know who's going down first.
Oh, yeah, we do. I volunteer as tribute.
Thanks, Laura. We'll be in touch with all the details. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
I mean, the next thing we've got to do, go on you, Laura. The next thing we've got to do is figure out, who gets business.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Laura, can we get Laura back?
Well, guess who's turning 21 that weekend, party weekend.
And
You
Laura,
know.
are you a common man, though? We wanted to give
I'm
the
the
business...
commonest of men.
Okay.
Women.
What's the...
Well, when you were
what's the-
jumping on the trampoline, was it above ground or was it at a trampoline centre?
Oh, look, it was a trampoline centre. It was.
Must be
apparently
nice. A
it's
special
five.
centre just for trampolining. Woohoo! Olympic level. That's not very common now, Laura.
We'll come back to you, Laura.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Haim, just 2 weeks away from our emergency slide party where Rex Airlines, they're the guys that are now doing biggies, they are giving us the opportunity to jump down the emergency slide.
To deploy the big yellow slide
amazing.
on the 737, the big.
10,000 people have registered to go down. There was a lucky
9,000, 9,960 had their hopes dashed last week, but a lucky 40.
Yes.
And their plus ones will be joining us.
Flight HA254. If that's you and you got sent your ticket when you registered, HA254, you got to make your way to Melbourne. But
We're not covering that.
No, we're not covering that. But on the 16th, we'll be going down a slide as part of this.
Emergency.
Yeah, that works.
And our main man's back from Rex. Mark joins us again. Mark, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Really, really well. Were you astounded that over 10,000 people wanted to have a go at...
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
People want to go down the slide, mate. You are sitting on an absolute gold mine there.
Yeah, exactly. Forget mystery flights, buddy.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad we could break that news to you. Couple of other things before we go any further, Mark. First of all, the slogan Rex now doing biggies has
taken off.
Has that taken off?
Yeah.
Smallies to
I
biggies.
just noticed an ad come out recently talking about servicing, 60 destinations within Australia and obviously the competitive fares doing Sydney, Melbourne, but there was no sign of Rex now doing
We do
biggies
biggies.
in your official marketing.
Okay, I'll have to have a look into that.
Thank you.
Because it's
Do
a good
that.
slogan.
Do that. Smallies too. Smallies where there's gaps.
Yeah. Not
Smallies
scared of
where-
smallies.
It's not scared of smallies. Great friends with smallies,
Yeah.
but also very comfortable with biggies now.
Mark, we went pretty hard on ankle safety in recent weeks of the podcast. Do you think we've
Right.
scared people too much with regards to how vulnerable their ankles may be at the bottom of the slide?
No, not really. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a possibility. But nonetheless, I mean, something that we should probably talk about is that you should probably have long pants on, closed-in
Yes.
shoes and long sleeve shirts, because you can, highly unlikely, but you can get some friction burns if you've got skin against the slide.
Rubber burns.
But,
Yep. So it goes.
yeah.
You go at pace, don't you?
Oh, yeah, you move. Yeah.
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 My word. My word.
You'll be
That's-
moving.
That's how we're snapping so many ankles. But
Okay, well, that's
we
good
won't be
news.
snapping. And what's the best tactic to have to keep your ankles unsnapped if that is your preferred state for your ankles to be in? And we would assume for all our guests it is.
Yeah.
Do you keep a soft knee at the bottom, or what's your tactic?
Well, it's a good question. So I think I mentioned last time that you sort of, when you're sliding, you keep your body upright from the waist, because I mentioned last time when you lean back, you actually go faster.
Okay.
So to control the speed, you lean forward and put your hands on your knees, and then you actually tuck your toes back so that they're sort of 90 degrees to your foot. So as if you're stretching your Achilles, your feet are flat and together. And then when you hit the bottom of the slide, it sort of just gives you a kick up into the standing position, and you sort of hit the ground running.
Can we go obviously we're so excited that you guys are doing this for us. Melbourne Airports, so we salute them for letting us go out there as well.
Yeah, they've been quite good. They've been helping out with the logistics, so
Great.
that's been great.
Questions. It was we brought up a couple of weeks ago that there was going to be 2 pilots on board. Do we need 2 pilots? Do we need any pilots?
Yes, you do actually need pilots, because when we tow the aircraft, I don't know if you're aware, weighs about 70 tonnes. And when we're towing it, you've got to have on the ground either a qualified ground engineer or a pilot for the brakes.
Okay.
When you're towing the aircraft. So given that we're having the party and doing the evacuation, it's going to be better for us to have the pilots on board and the flight attendants, of course.
Fantastic. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Plane snacks. Are you guys happy to hand out some snacks? What kind of snacks are available on the Rex flights?
Well, we have in business class meals, of course, and
Must be nice.
sandwiches
Wow.
and
Yep.
drinks.
Oh, sandwiches.
But what would you be interested in?
Oh,
Like
can I-
sausage rolls or something?
Can I put a request in for what it... Yes, please. Sausage roll sounds great. Can I put a request in for what I don't want it to be? Now,
Right.
I know that
Yeah.
you're probably reticent to slag off a competitor here, but I was on a flight recently, I think it was from Tasmania to Sydney.
Yeah.
So what they came around, they said, you're just having a snack, okay? You get a snack for this flight.
Right. Yeah.
They landed. Are you familiar with a lavash cracker, like a square, hard pressed wheat cracker? Yeah, not a biscuit. It's a cracker, a very tasteless cracker.
You put cheese on it.
You normally do.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. That's a great point. That's what I thought a lavash was for,
Yeah.
or a hummus.
Yeah.
They pop the snack down, and so there's the lavash and some chutney. And so I said, okay, I think I know what's going on here. High-end cheese should be somewhere in this equation. I'm digging around, looking in the snack box, and I said, oh, sorry, I don't think I got any cheese. I think they left the cheese out. And they went, no, there is no cheese. It's the chutneys for the lavash.
What?
I said, so are you serving chutney as a dip? And they said, yeah, just chutney on lavash. I said, no. You're missing the... Like, chutney's an accessory.
Yeah.
You can't... It's not a full meal. Chutney's...
That wouldn't happen on a regular.
Chutney's a hat.
Chutney goes on something.
Yes, it goes on something. Yeah, exactly.
Not on a biscuit.
No.
Not on a
cracker.
biscuit. You've sort of sold me a hat, but no suit. like it's the thing that goes with something else. So my request is, can we not have lavash and just chutney? Because I think it's a bit of an outrage.
There'll be no lavash.
Okay.
We can have pies, sausage rolls, sandwiches.
Yep.
That is
we'll
more
have some
common,
good food. When we'll have some good food on board. Yeah.
This is a tougher one for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Is there an auxiliary cord that you can plug straight into the PA system for someone to play their own music? Say if we had a DJ with a very slimline set.
Right.
Setup.
No. We've got no. There's no way that you can plug it in. We've got the normal, speakers where the boarding music's sort of played as you're getting on.
Yeah. How do you get into that system?
Oh well, that's got a control panel at the front of the cabin, but it's not really. You can't plug into it and play your own sort of playlist. But
are we positive? Because usually when there's a control panel, there could be an aux in.
oh well, I'll have a look. I'll have a look into it. But I don't.
Have a look.
I'm pretty
Sometimes
sure,
known as a 3.5 mil jack. Yeah.
What about just putting some speakers in the aircraft?
Oh, if you could. I mean.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Oh.
Okay, what about this?
Yeah.
We bring 2 large Bluetooth speakers on as carry-on.
Yeah.
Well, we could put it in the overhead locker, and then when we get towed around and we arrive where we're going to do the slide,
just take it out.
we can take it out then and get started.
So
I'm just wondering if we have music for the taxiing, though. I think you'll want the vibe up on the taxiing.
Yeah, we can have a look at that. I mean, it's not as if anything's going to fall around. We'll be going a maximum of 10 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
So
can someone open the door, or is to set it off? Or is that the flight attendant's role?
No, that'll have to be the flight attendant because
don't want to risk it.
We've
only got one flight.
But the other thing too, you've got to be careful when you open the door. There's a technique of opening it, and there's a handle that you hold on to because before the slide actually inflates, the door's actually open. If you fall out, you can seriously hurt yourself.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense to me. Can one of us? Is it possible for someone, and a designated person, to also set off a life vest and blow a whistle once they're down?
Yeah, life vest, no problems. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we could do a life vest.
Brilliant, mate.
Fantastic, mate. We can't thank you enough. We are pumped for this. See you in a couple of weeks. That's all we need. People can bring their duty free on. Did we talk about? Did we discuss that last time? Or
no, we haven't asked.
We'll organise drinks, but we'll have them in duty free bags.
Yeah, we wanted to give someone an opportunity to open a duty free bag on a plane.
You feel like you're drinking duty free, and we'll just serve all the drinks in duty free bags.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, great.
It's all good.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Haim, it happens next week. Our emergency slide party. Cannot believe that an airline's willing to do this, and Melbourne Airports is willing to do this.
Making all our dreams come true. We take 80 people out on a jumbo, on a 737. We have a party. Then we deploy one of the inflatable slides you hear about all the time in the emergency briefing, yet none of us ever get to ride down because you don't really want to ride down one because that means something bad has happened. This way, we get the slide without the catastrophe.
Yep, absolutely. Haim, I've got an update. St John's Ambulance Service are going to be there just for ankle protection. Well, it's not really protection.
The ankle unit.
The ankle
SAU.
Unit. So we're very pleased with them.
Special ankles
There's going
unit.
to be a firefighting rescue team on site on the day just in case someone goes
Fire a
down.
few shots at. If you do snap an ankle, they'll be on hand to cool your ankles down with a refreshing jet of water.
And if you choose to wear, say, something that's so flammable that the friction comes down as you hit the slide.
Sure. Should you choose to wear a jacket made of the heads of matches, you will receive a squirt. I'm not going to say just in time, but certainly a welcome squirt from the fire department. I think by then the damage will be done by the time you get to the bottom.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to have a squirt down nonetheless.
We recommend just going normal long-sleeved and long pants, closed-toe shoes. All happening at Melbourne Airport. Haim, it's all part of this.
Emergency.
Haim, one thing we haven't done, which I want to do quickly before we hit next week, is we said to people that registered, and there was over 10,000 people that did, you've got to put in why you're such a common man. and we'll review that as a team and see if they're eligible to take the business class seats.
Because you will be, I believe you'll be first off the slide. Are we going front left
I'd imagine so.
slide door?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So one of the perks, as well as getting a slightly better meal, is first down the slide.
More comfortable seat for taxiing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
Aaron wrote this in. I drive a big blue van around, and it's my only car.
Oh, that's pretty common, man. That's very common, man.
I think that's common, man.
I like that. Yeah,
Okay,
especially if you've done, especially you've put the business name on the side as a tax deduction. So you've bought the car in the company name, and you're comfortable because the trade-off there, the maneuver you pull there is like, are you comfortable going to family barbecues and stuff on the weekend, or going out with your mates camping in the
promotional vehicle?
In the XRT Solutions painting van. And if you're happy with that, then you can have the tax write-off, but it does mean all you drive is a promotional vehicle around. Yep, very common, man. I'm happy with that.
Aaron, you and your +1 are sitting in business class on flight HA254. This is from Ella. I've never been on a plane. I've never visited Melbourne. I've never travelled outside Australia.
Sounds like a conundrum. It sounds like, what am I? Oh, time.
I would say that's very
so cool. That's
Are we risking it?
Just think, if she doesn't live in Melbourne, by the time she gets to Melbourne, she will have been on a plane by then and be familiar with it.
Jack snatching luxury away from the common people.
Also,
with his very good point, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she's
pending.
Yeah.
Pending. How many are we giving away?
I'm going to put 6 too, and we can afford all 6 of them could fit, but I just want to make sure they're worthy. So,
yes, then I'll give it.
Okay.
I will give it.
Ella's in.
But Jack is right. I hope that she hasn't got a taste for the finer things by then in life, and it doesn't move the needle for her.
This is from Jack May. I am 6'2" and have never forked out for extra leg room.
Yeah, that's just a tall man, though.
Yeah,
that's just a tall man. That means you'd like it. Of course, we'd all like it.
Yes.
But we're asking for examples of a common man. I suppose if he's flying a lot, But
this even includes the emergency exit now, because they charge you for those. He's never forked out the extra $20 for that. What do you think, Jack?
I do miss the days where
Is a tight man a common man? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That's true. Otherwise, Jack's not.
Otherwise, Jack's as common as they come.
I do hate sitting in, but as a tall person, you just got to put up with the no leg room. And
yes, Jack. I mean, we're all
ask
tall
anymore for the emergency seats that you have to pay extra.
That is annoying. I mean, I used to love going to the desk and charming them by going, don't want to alarm you, but I'm extremely cool in an emergency. Should you be looking for people to sit right next to the door in the emergency aisle? I'm your guy. Yeah. I'm absolutely your guy. Yeah, I do miss those days, Jack. But what you're talking about here is, again, just tightness. You just miss getting something for nothing.
But tightness feels common. Like a lot of space feels luxury. I think give it to him.
I just think that you've sensed a kindred spirit here, Jack. Someone that likes to get something for nothing.
It's a no from me. So, Jack May, you are down the back, and we probably won't even put you in an emergency exit.
Let him build the hunger up.
Yep. Liana, this is, I have one dishwasher and no golf simulator.
Andy, how do you feel about that? Can you get your head around that?
I can't fathom
how does she live?
How would you go through life?
How would you have a 20-person cocktail party to watch you chip with your new gifted clubs from insert name of this week's golf sponsor?
That's always been tailor-made.
Ching, ching, ching. Jack laughing but quietly pondering if he should say the name as well so he gets some.
I don't play golf, but you never know.
Could they track them if sold on eBay?
Let's give it to Liana.
Wow, that's common. That's so common.
Yeah. Miranda Morris. For the past 3 months, I've used my iPhone torch when in my bedroom because I won't replace the light globe in the room.
That's fast and loose. Ain't common, man. I like that.
Yes.
You're in.
She's in business class. Finally. This is Charlie Rose. Still using headphones with cords.
Wow. Yeah, that's normal these days. But I think in the world of Beats, even plugged in
AirPods, all of it. Yeah.
Oh, we know what you've got, mate. AirPods Pro. I saw the look on your face when I used AirPods non-Pro in front of you. AirPods Civilian. Real nose scrunch.
AirPods Amateur.
AirPods Bronze.
Keep it pro if you can. Okay.
Prefer to be surrounded by pros only.
Charlie's definitely in.
Yeah, Charlie's in.
That's a good mix. It sounds mean because Jack's the only person we can
Okay, Jack, you're back in. You're back in, but you're lucky.
We're going to give you seat 1A, which is less. It's more legroom, but less than if you could run your legs underneath the two.
Yes, it's a little more, and it's a bit more. You have to. That's the seat where you have to be face to face with the flight attendants. And so you have to come up with some small talk.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, that's for you, Jack. Fantastic. I think we've sorted most of it out.
We really have.
Look forward to seeing everybody next week.
What are you going to do with your golf clubs, Jack?
Haim, people would have been tuning in today to the podcast thinking they've done it.
Yeah.
They've gone down the emergency slide. The emergency slide party has happened. They've boarded a biggie from Rex. They've thanked Rex Airlines, now doing biggies, and off they went. Obviously, that's not the case. Well, obviously, we can say that's not the case.
Yeah.
In fact,
we did not. We have not slid.
No, due to the COVID situation in Melbourne, we thought it better to perhaps not slide. It was going to be tough to get people from interstate in that are coming to slide.
That's true.
Haim, we should make an official announcement, I suppose, from our airlines.
To delay the slide party.
Yeah, I guess
from Hamish. This is just remember too. We've done this did this on the show the other week when we were delaying the flights, or cancelling the flights. This is Hamish and Andy Airlines, not Rex.
Not Rex. They're very much on time. But H&A Airlines having some problems. Of the 200,
so this is the official announcement?
Of the 260-odd flights, we cancelled 259 of them or something. And
what was our flight number? 257?
254, I think.
254?
254 if you
just
had
because
that
I need
ticket.
it for the announcement.
Okay, of course. And they were hoping to take off this week. Jacko, take it away.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little announcement for H&A Flight 254. If you're in the boarding lounge, I'd like you to stand up and sit down. Now stand up again, shake it out. Good. I know you've been waiting for quite some time. I've got some great news and some not so great news. The great news is if you were worried that you didn't have time to buy a jar of macadamia nuts or a kangaroo fur wallet, certainly plenty of time left in your day to shop at the airport. In fact, plenty of time left in the week.
How much time?
Right, I'm just getting a few calls of how much time there. I'm not sure if that came across the mic. Well, here's the not so great news. We are going to kick back the old flight for a while. Certainly won't be today, I'll tell you that. And what are we in today? June. No, it's not going to be in June either. Probably we're sniffing July, late July, as I'm sure you can appreciate the guys up in the tower have all sorts of maths and stuff to do. I won't bore you with, but there is a lot of technicalities when it comes to planes. Probably late July, let's go for mid-July, mid-ish July is what we're looking at. So yeah, H&A Flight 254, not cancelled, heavily delayed, ferociously delayed. I guess we do biggies too. Big delays, not big flights. So, bit of a joke there to lighten the mood. Getting a few laughs at the desk here, but I understand it's an annoying sitch for you. So I'll let you get on out to the cab rank. Thank you. Bong bong.
I'd love to walk into a airport and look up at the board and have ferociously delayed.
My God, please go to desk because you wouldn't believe this in sign form. You would have to get this in person. You won't believe it. You won't be able to believe it.
But Rex still pumped up to do it all. Yes, sometime in July. We won't give you weekly updates. No. But it will pop up. And for those people that do have the tickets, we'll contact you direct. Offline. Hey, one other little bit of business. There was a problem with us having duty-free alcohol like a strong tequila or
Right.
something.
That was one of the main selling points, wasn't it?
And we're excited about opening up duty free because you never get to do that.
Yeah, you don't get to open it on the plane.
Difficult for us to go, yeah, that's all right. We'll definitely drink it responsibly. I think that was the concern from Melbourne airports, who are doing an amazing job, and Rex on.
Because the whole point of duty free is you're not buying the traditional sensible one sitting consumption amount.
No.
You're buying 3 litres of rum. That's the whole point of duty free. You're trying to buy like 2 months' worth.
Yes.
In a day.
So I understand why they wouldn't want that. But should we do a cologne? Is that what's the next?
Oh, okay.
What is the next openable thing?
Toblerones.
Big Toblerone.
Huge Toblerones. Toblerones and M&M's, I feel.
You can still take them on the plane, Kate. You don't have to lock away the Toblerones. I think
Duty free ones.
you don't.
They go,
I think it's just something you see.
They're pretty harsh on it, actually. Many a flight I've been eating one of the triangles of the 9 kilo block, and so the triangle's like quite heavy, about the size of an iron.
Frisbee, yeah.
and about as heavy as an iron per triangle. And they'll go, where'd you get that? Like, no, I got it at Shell on the way in. My Uber stopped for petrol. No, it didn't, mate, because you can only get the 9 kilo at duty free. So you're going to have to pay the extra, because it's about, was it $550 a bar? So you have to pay the extra $70, mate, tax.
So we're putting in big Toblerones in the duty free thing, and maybe some cologne.
And M&M's too. M&M's. Do you guys get the vibe that M&M's?
Toblerone and the M&M's are duty free.
But it's an airport food. It's an excitement.
I don't think the excitement. I think people.
Well, what else? What do you want to see? Sip on a cologne?
No, just spray it.
But are we so stinky in there if we're all spraying it?
I don't know, man. I mean, you're coming down pretty heavy on the Toblerones. Hands up if you're excited to display for Andy's perfume party.
I'd rather a Toblerone and M&M's.
My point is not.
Oh, wow. Andy, sorry, guys. No big Toblerones. We've all got Dior Sauvage. What a treat.
No,
and you're the face of Andy by Hamish. So pull your head in, mate.
My point is, I don't think you would ever open a duty-free bag for a Toblerone. I just don't think they
would you for a perfume? That's the thing you can get for free.
People do it. People do it.
They go and get free tests. If you're smelling it on the plane, they've had the tester.
So what is the next thing you put in? What's the next thing you put in duty-free?
But no one's desperate on a flight to get their perfume out. That's one thing that you can put in the bag and be happy to use it when you're going to an event, when you're back home.
Andy. Okay. Maybe this is a pointy end versus back end kind of thing, but back there, mate, we're not wafting perfume, okay? We're eating Toblerone.
We'll pick this up.
Polishing pearls and spraying perfumes.
Hey, let's jump into this.
Emergency.
Slide. Hey, it's coming soon. Those that are flying know, or sliding, sorry, they know when it's going.
Yeah. We're in constant contact with our sliders.
Yep.
We obviously have an ever-evolving can we, can't we situation with public health.
Yep.
We'll play by the rules. Actually, there's a lot of playing by the rules when it comes to the slide party.
Yes.
The whole thing's rules.
The whole thing's rules.
We're boarding properly, we're taxiing properly, we're sliding properly.
Yep.
But we'll play by the rules, in such a way as it's very, very fun.
Yeah.
And we'll get out there on the tarmac.
Strap your ankles, everybody. Rex have been great. Obviously, Rex Airlines now doing biggies. Really great.
Sorry, not biggest? Not biggest.
No, not biggest.
Just biggies.
Just doing
biggest
biggies.
is A380.
Now doing
or even
biggies.
bigger. Maybe those Russian army ones that can take tanks.
Yeah, that would be bigger. But they're not doing those. Don't need them. Rex doing biggies between major capital cities at very competitive rates. Thanks, Rex. Melbourne Airport obviously on board for our emergency slide party. First couple of things.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to derail things, but just as you were saying biggies between cap cities, I was thinking, big biggies between the caps. Yeah. Is there a marketing idea for Rex to make a very large hat, baseball cap, noticeably big? And so it's like, it's biggies and it's a cap because it goes between the cap cities. Is it our job to come to them with these ideas? Do they like them? Should we keep them coming?
No.
Would that one be the one we get judged on? I hope not, because it isn't our best. But I think there's something there.
Keep them coming.
You see people out and about wearing a big cap, and it reminds you that Rex are doing biggies to the cap cities.
They should take on now doing biggies, but they haven't yet. Haim.
Criminal.
First thing for the emergency slide party. There is concern that when we obviously are going to let the slide out, we were planning on yelling emergency, 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 and then it would go out. The concern is there is not a safe word for what if there was
a real emergency.
Watermelon.
Real emergency. Watermelon? Watermelon. Okay, so we'll make it very clear. So they were asking, could we say something different when the slide comes out?
What about?
I don't think so. I think that doesn't make any sense.
What about this? Let's just keep it easy so we remember it.
Yeah.
Let's just say the safe word's remergency.
Remergency.
Because it's like you remember, I've remembered the emergency. So the code word is emergency, the safe word's remergency.
Okay.
Because you're removing the emergency.
So it's an emergency on remergency, but...
Yes, it's a real emergency if we say remergency, because it's the reverse of what we're saying.
Which is emergency.
Yep.
Okay.
And it does transgress the number one rule of safe words, which is make them sound different than the word.
What about watermelon, like you first suggested?
Okay.
So if there's a real emergency, we'll yell watermelon 3 times.
And if there's no emergency, we'll yell quite clearly emergency 3 times.
Great. Obviously, down in our class, Common Man class, we're going to be having pies, sausage rolls. They've asked, do we want to be serving business class, their proper business class meals? And I've said yes.
Yeah,
I think that's
quinoa.
That's part. They'll have a selection.
Herb crusted something
would be. You'd know, but
I've heard from Jack. He made up a back entry, so he always has to fly business.
Hey, there's been a hell of a back and forth where we left it last, where I was saying they've got a problem with us opening duty free.
Yeah.
Yeah. And having a swig of something.
Yep.
They've put this to the group. They would like
Did they weigh in on the Toblerone issue?
The Toblerones are not duty free. You can get them anytime. But here's what they'd like
not at that size.
And should we still get them anyway?
Here's what they'd like to put to us. In exchange for the light disappointment of not being able to open a bottle of whiskey on the plane.
Yep.
They would like to give to everyone flying their own duty-free bag, Melbourne Airport duty-free bag, including a 200ml bottle of Chivas Regal whiskey.
God, that's plenty.
Yes. This we can't have it on the plane.
Oh, you can't drink it?
No. This is what I'm saying. In exchange for non-drinking.
Oh, this is as you leave.
They're saying as you leave, they want to give us a gift bag like you normally would coming off a plane.
Right, yes, because I was saying, look, 200 mils of whiskey it's certainly a strong nip. And I thought if everyone's downing 200 mils of whiskey as they get on as the welcome drink,
no.
Don't worry about snapped ankles because everyone's just going to be loosey-goosey. We're going to roll off that plane like putty.
What about, this is an exchange. This is
to say thanks at the end.
Thanks and apologies that we can't be sipping while we're sliding. Everybody gets 200 mils of whiskey, a big Toblerone as well inside.
How big?
One of the biggest they've got, I'll ask.
Did they actually say that?
They haven't said that.
Because you don't really know what you're saying if you can't deliver that. Because I think the biggest they've got is about 5 kilos.
Oh, okay, not the biggest they've got then. That seems silly.
It's just someone on the show said we were getting the biggest they've got. Do you know what? I hope it's actually the small ones, and I hope you get 4. We should give people 4 when they get on because it would be a good ankle splint. You put one on the inside of your ankle, you put another on the outside of your ankle, and you gaffer tape up your ankle that way.
Do we have a deal? Is that
actually, you're right.
Subject?
Let's give it at the end. Because the Toblerone, whatever size it is, will be a good splint. Yep. If you've only snapped one ankle, it's kind of an edible splint.
Yep. Okay, so are we happy there?
Yeah, we're very happy.
Okay, that's a deal done.
That's so generous of them.
They'll be pleased there. Obviously, someone will go down first. Looks like we're going to do it in a hangar, as in we will taxi
just for weather
and cut a lap of the airport. No dramas there, but then just so we can be in a spot where we know we can lay some crash mats or whatever.
Yeah, great.
and head on down.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
Hey,
that's. I'm happy to run a dry weather simulation.
Speaking of ankles, this is an area that we've talked about a lot, and that's why right now joining us on the phone. I mean, obviously we've been the ones that've been getting the word out about the ankle safety.
Community service.
The guy joining us is Head of Aviation Operations and Security at Melbourne Airports. He's Scott. He is ex-military. He's got extensive experience in aviation security, and he has gone down a slide. That's why he's joining us.
So he's from his hospital bed. Scott, how are the ankles holding up, mate?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy
ankles are great.
Great. Well, this is. I just wanted to hear it from a man who's done it. Now you are a professional, obviously, but how were the ankles? For an everyday person's ankles, should we be worried?
Listen, I think you've covered enough on the ankles, and I think everyone's got the right level of preparation and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be remiss of me not to tell you about something you do need to be careful of, and that's pride.
Oh,
so
yeah, I wondered about this. Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So think about what a slide's designed for. It's when a plane's in a really bad situation and you need to get off it really fast.
Yep.
So you're moving pretty quick. It doesn't have the gentle kind of decline at the end to slow things down and have a nice easy dismount. And of course you don't want 300 people sitting at the bottom of a slide as you're trying to get away from a plane that's in a bad situation.
Half of them are broken ankles.
Yeah, crawling away using a couple of blunt knives they took from the plane almost as ice picks as they drag their bodies through the mud.
So what I've seen is, you get to the bottom and you've got all this momentum, and some people like to plant their feet and the upper body wants to keep going.
Yes.
And so that's where you have your tumbles and your spills and things like that.
Oh.
So that's the pride thing.
The pride, the face plant. So face plants are funny.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And in a disaster scenario, isn't laughter the best medicine?
So,
Scotty, I mean, you're right. I hadn't really thought about this, but of course, because we've been viewing the slide as a very fun thing. But really, the purpose of the slide, basically, obviously the makers of the slide went, look, how do we get everyone off the plane?
Yeah.
Well, they could jump. Well, that's a guaranteed ankle break, even though that is the fastest way down. That's just pure gravity, nothing in the way. Then they put what did we do? A big, long, shallow slide? Too long. Fun. You'll get there slowly,
Enjoyable.
but too long.
Yep.
So really, they've obviously just gone for as steep as you possibly can while still legally being a slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an interesting gradient chat.
So, Scott, any tips then?
I think the tips you got from Mark, first and foremost, are really important, is that lean forward at the start so your body's already upright. I guess on the way down, you don't really need to do much. To Hamish' point there, you're moving, you're already on your way, thinking about the bottom, and because you do move at quite a rate, it is, I guess, something that you can kind of freeze up and go, oh, I just want to plant my feet and land. But it's almost that piece of being ready for your feet to keep going with you. Otherwise, to your point,
like
you will end up face planting or...
Like coming off an escalator.
What about a staggered foot stance so you can go straight into a run? Would you recommend that?
The guys will coach you. So Rex emergency procedures guys will be there, and they'll coach you on how to start. So your feet will be nice and close together for the slide down, because obviously you don't want them to catch on the way down and kind of one limb being behind you or whatever it might be. Okay. But when you hit the ground and come off, you'll kind of bounce and just be ready to be kind of on your toes and off for a jog.
Scott,
now, of course, the guys will have mats on the ground and things like that that'll make it a little bit safer for you too.
We've decided to put some crash mats down, which I think is a great idea. Scott, can I ask you this? What are the chances, say we've got 80 people on this thing, how many people are having a stumble? How many people are falling over? Like, is there a goal for us?
Should we, I mean, what are the chances of us getting 80 out of 80 perfect
100%.
gymnastic dismounts? Or, how many people will at least place one hand down?
I'd be extremely surprised if you got everyone off without a stack.
Challenge accepted.
I'd be thinking with 80, you're probably going to get somewhere around 10 people that are going to do some sort of stumble or roll or trip or something along those lines.
So you're saying you'll place a bet with us and tens the line.
Tens the line.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, let's beat the line.
Okay, let's beat the line. We're taking the unders.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it, buddy.
Pleasure, boys. Pleasure.
Official. Andy official 24/7.
The slide party.
Oh, that's on.
That is very much on, but obviously borders are closed. We can't get everyone from around the country to get on the emergency slide. We think this is possibly a good thing because it gives everybody extra months to strengthen your ankles.
We want to see a lot of Pilates ankle weights being used. Strengthen them up because whilst 2 or 3 will snap on the day, we'd love to keep it single digits.
If it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen next year. Maybe even kick off the year with the slide party, emergency slide party.
Slide into 22.
We'll all get to go on an emergency slide on a plane. Few things to tie off. Emergency slide party.
Yeah.
We've been in touch with Rex. Obviously, the COVID situation with Australia opening back up, we will do that probably in the first month of the pod being back. So sometime in March next year.
We'll figure it out.
Expect those that had won their slot, expect to be notified in February.
Keep your ankles strong. Keep them strong. Keep your splints on.
Yeah.
If you
keep doing your exercises.
Ankles pre-strapped, getting ready to go down the slide.
Also, ahoy to Cameron, who uploaded what he's up to from Brisbane.
Ahoy, boys. Cameron from Brisbane. Loving the podcast at the moment. Quick question for Hamish.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened to the bodybuilding trophy you got in America? Also, what's going on with the emergency slide party? Or is that just another classic Hamish and Andy peter out?
Ooh.
Anyway, love the podcast. Goodbye.
They are classic. I'll give you that.
First question. Where's your trophy for winning Miss New York State?
I think it's still at the AIS in the Hall of Fame. I did donate it to inspire school students and anyone else doing a tour. I think you will still find it there in the Hall of Gains, as they call it.
Gaining weight.
No, just massive, fitness gains.
Okay, yep.
That's to inspire the younger next generation. And it's always generously on loan from the Foster Blake family.
Good. As far as the second question, keep your ankles strapped, everybody. Keep strengthening them.
But the tape's beginning to smell.
Because we've heard back from Rex, who are now doing biggies. They've got to keep their biggies in the sky at the moment. They've obviously had a tough COVID time. And the idea of just stopping a plane so we can all use the emergency escape slide isn't front of mind for them as they try and get aviation and the airways back up and running. But they have reached out this week, didn't they, Carly?
Yep.
Carly's nodded.
Yep. And if there's one thing that guarantees to put a bit of life back in the lungs of an idea and stop it being a peter out, it's us looking outside here and getting a producer to nod.
Yep.
And that just shows you that things are still ticking.
Yep.
So know in your heart that we've got people nodding. We've got people from Rex giving us not yets but soons.
Yep. And
we've got biggies circling in the sky.
We'll all be jumping out of a plane onto an emergency slide soon enough.
Soon enough.
Should we put a date on it?
Just soon enough's fine. Well, we know it's not a peter out. There still is some smoke coming from the embers.
By the end of the footy season.
This year?
Yeah.
Whew, okay.
That's a goal. You know we push out timelines all the time.
That's true. There's so many codes.
Hey, we want to start by angering someone. And it's not normally what we do.
But it's not a mortal, Ando.
No.
It's a heavenly body, a heavenly person.
Is it a deity? Would they be?
It's a deity, that's it. I would think I was getting a bit tangled up there. It was like a member of the Heavenly Club. It's a saint. We're angering Saint Peter out. Because on this show, we enjoy having big ideas, and we enjoy the enthusiasm that comes at the start of an idea.
We hate the hard work.
Then you kick into the grind phase. And during the grind phase, that's where a lot of the initial boost of the idea can often flame out and cause the idea to peter out.
Yes.
Hence St. Peter Out, the patron saint of peter outs.
Yes.
We're upfront about a lot of our peter outs. We
Happily.
know they happen on the show. Things fall into two categories. They're either going concerns or they're peter outs. We had something that we're about to mention something that everybody, far and wide, every person listening now, whether you've been with us for a short time or a long time, if you're aware of this, you would have absolutely had it in the peter out bucket.
But let's jump into it.
and gentlemen. This is Hamish And Airlines. You are not bloody going to believe this. You are still in the terminal. Jesus. If you're not dead, because Mike, you assume you went home and came back. You shouldn't be in the terminal if you're waiting for this flight. But, I mean, I can't believe it. I'm reading off the screen in front of me. Unless there's a glitch in the system. Shit, the Hamish And Andy slide party is going to happen. It's clear for takeoff. We're going to baby!
Emergency.
Slide. We are back and a go. COVID can't stop us now. Well, it probably could again. Something else could stop us until we're actually just sliding down an emergency slide of a plane. For people who maybe just listening to the podcast for the first time, welcome.
Welcome. If you'd like to hear the first time the slide party was mentioned, you need to go back 18 or 19 months. That's how long ago this. We bought it. It's half our own fault. We brought it up in peak COVID. We were like, let's do a party.
Yeah, but everyone thought it was. We're in our 6 week lockdown. We'll knock this on the head, and then we'll all jump out of a plane onto an emergency slide.
We loved the thought that the end was just around the corner. As we all know, it wasn't. It was around several corners. And we now feel, Rex, the airline who do biggies, in case you're wondering, hang on a sec, they don't do biggies. Yep, they do biggies. Yeah. And that's where slides come out of, biggies, big planes. Rex have come back and said, you know what? It seems to be simmering down, not jinxing it, but it seems to be simmered down, and we can get you guys on a plane, which will then taxi to somewhere else on the runway, open up the door, deploy the emergency slide. Those people that have already won tickets, which will now be like moth bitten in the bottom of a filing cabinet somewhere, they can jump down the slide. They
can. We're going to taxi to another hangar.
We're doing it. That's good for rain.
And also just for safety, because if we're out on the runway, as you just described it, or we're all having a good time jumping on a slide as other planes go by, not as safe.
That's true, but you should train for every scenario.
You should. Hey, look, I don't even know whether the people are still available to go on this. We gave away, I think it was 80 tickets of people enthusiastic about using the emergency slide on a plane.
And wasn't it? It was so complicated too, the giveaway. It was like everyone got allocated like a flight number.
Yeah, we cancelled most flights.
And we cancelled all the other flights. And then like if you had the remaining flight, you won. Because it turns out, then we cancelled that flight too.
We had thousands and thousands of people.
Who doesn't want to jump down the emergency slide? The idea still stands, Ando. Yeah. It's a brilliant idea. So few people have ever gone down the emergency slide unless you actually were involved in the airlines, because I think you have to do it for training.
And that's what's the exciting part of it.
That's the point.
When they are up there and they're doing the bit where they explain the emergency procedure, you can look to your left or right quite smugly and go, I've been down one of those.
Been one of those. Jeez, they go fast. Watch your ankles. How are your ankles? And you can just start up some great ankle chat with people on the plane. That's what we're giving people the chance to do.
So, Ham, let's check in with someone who has a ticket. Yes, who would have absolutely thought that this was not happening.
Yeah.
Jack, have you got some random numbers there?
Yes, the first one we'll try is William from Loftus, New South Wales.
A year and a half ago, we would have called William, right? Like if we'd have called William a year and a half ago and gone, hey, it's Hamish and Andy, the first thing he would have said was like, oh, great, this is about the slide party. Yeah. Because that's back when it was peaking. Then got put on several back burners and everyone thought it had petered out. There's no way he will think this call is about the slide party. Well, so we thought, let's just give him a call and go, like a survey. Like we're reaching out to people on the very important podcasters list and just seeing if they have any feedback on the show.
Are they satisfied?
Yeah, are they satisfied?
Yeah, how we
see
go.
If he mentions
how we
the
going
slide party.
Report.
I'd love to see if he even remembers the slide party.
Okay, here we go.
We advise that the number you have called
He's gone. He's moved. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
He's moved.
He's either moved providers or he's moved countries.
He's gone. Yeah. He's moved countries. He got sick of waiting. Jeez, this is going to happen a lot.
Okay. All right, second one. This is Ellen.
Alan?
Ellen.
Or Ellen?
Ellen as in, I can't think of a famous Ellen.
Okay, Border.
Ellen Border.
Ellen Jakovich.
I'm trying to think of a second one.
Ellen Alder from MASH.
Best Ellen. That'd be my favourite Ellen. No offence to Border.
Hi, you've reached Alan. Sorry I couldn't get to the phone. If you leave me a message, I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. Thanks.
Hi, Alan. Who do you think the most famous Ellen is?
We think Elder from MASH, and then later on West Wing. Anyway, Hamish and Andy here. Got some exciting news for you. Yeah. Slide Party's back on. Not a joke, despite the fact Andy broke up laughing there. Yeah. It really is back on.
Yeah, we'd love you.
Anyway, we'll be in touch with you soon. Tried to call you for the podcast, but appreciate what you've given us in terms of Alan chat.
Okay, great, Jack. Let's try one more, and then we probably just have
This raises an interesting idea. There will be people that no longer are in Australia, no longer interested.
Yeah.
Are we running a lower capacity party, or are we refilling those seats?
Let's think about that.
Alexandra.
As in what?
As in what, Jack?
The city in Egypt.
Oh. I think it's an ancient city, isn't it? Pretty deep Indiana Jones cut.
Hello?
Is that Alexandra?
Yes.
It's Hamish and Andy here.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
Hey, Alexandra, how you going?
Good. How are you going?
We're going great.
Yeah, good, mate.
Are you still listening to the pod, by the way?
Yeah, my friend, especially my friend Jake. Holy shit, what the going on?
Yeah. So your friend Jake listens to it, or you listen to it?
I listen to it, but my friend Jake listens to like every single episode.
Okay, gotcha. So about a year and a half ago, though, were you a real? I mean, well, I totally understand. I fade in and out of podcasts. Would you say you're it's increasing your passion for the podcast, or slowly waning over time?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm so confused what's going on. Is this about the slide?
Do you remember that?
It is.
The airplane slide?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course I remember.
Could you be honest with us here? I mean, you won a ticket to come, right?
Yes.
At what point did you sort of go, I don't think it's going to happen?
Oh, maybe a few months ago.
Yeah. Forgivable. Well, can we blow you away?
Get out.
Yeah, it's back, baby. It's
and you'll be asked to get out very quickly onto an emergency slide on a Rex airline very soon.
What? That's insane.
We're more surprised than anyone, to be honest.
So, Alex, we were just basically wanted to check the temperature of people that had won tickets, whether they're still enthusiastic. Can we put you down as a yes?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Great.
No
duty free. You will be entitled to one drink as the cart comes past, and there'll be a lot more fun to obviously organise.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We're going to take this as our absolute sample size, though. Happy with this. One response, all good. We assume everyone else is into it. Yeah, we'll pull the trigger on it. It's back. Stay tuned for more details.
Holy hell. Thank you so much.
That's a pleasure, Alex.
No worries. We should do this more. Give away things and not fulfill them for 2 years.
Haim, the other thing we've got to chat about is, of course, the emergency slide party is back on. We haven't actually talked to anyone from Rex for a while.
Can we just say, for people listening to this episode, we're aware it's 2022. You might think you're back listening to an old episode and go, hang on a second, why are we listening to the slide party episodes again? Yep, we know the end of the year is near. It's November 2022. We get it. That's coming up. However, it's back on. I know people might have missed episodes. It faded out, petered out, and has come roaring back. It's a roar back. Yeah, you're right, Ando. We haven't spoken to anyone from Rex, who are the airline that are going to lend us the plane.
Yes, our point of contact, who was lots of fun back in the day, was Mark. He has since retired.
That's
how long it's been. So joining him is his good mate, a pilot from Rex, Jeff. Jeff, ahoy to you.
Good afternoon, guys. How's things?
Very good.
How did Mark finish up? Do you have a party? Or?
We didn't have a plane party. We considered it, but we had a flight deck party instead. I think he really enjoyed that.
Oh, nice.
And we were sorry to see him go.
And did you get the vibe from him that he was sort of hanging around to see if this event would ever happen, and in the end it just got too much? And
look, he absolutely was. I knew that. We were at the flight deck party. He said to me, Jeff, I'm going to hand the baton to you. I've been waiting for Hamish and Andy. They've taken forever.
No, you've taken forever.
They've taken so long to get us going with this party.
Get this clear, Jeff. I mean, we are two men. We're ready. I believe it was the freeing up of a biggie of a plane that became the issue.
Well, it was probably actually COVID, but yes, I hear you.
Yes. Jeff, okay, couple of quick questions. Will you be our pilot on the day?
Look, I'm certainly hoping so, guys. Now that you and I are talking, I feel like we're besties. I think that I should be your pilot. I can be trusted.
Yeah, I agree. Now,
how much of a when they're doing the rosters and stuff, do they yell out what planes they've got this week and you go, I'll take that one? Or if they go, hey, we've got a light aircraft that's going, regional,
Kangaroo Island, and we've also got a biggie.
We've got a biggie that's flying Sydney to Melbourne. Does someone go, I'll take the biggie if no one else wants it? How does it work?
Look, if only that was the case, like you sort of walk through, you take the keys out of the bowl and then you go and hop on the plane. But no, that doesn't quite happen like that. But we only ever fly the biggies. So you either fly the jets or you fly the turboprops on the regional route. Yeah. And that's, of course, to make sure nice and safe for you guys, because then I only need to remember how to fly one aeroplane.
Yes, so you're biggies only.
Biggies only.
Do you puff your chest up a little bit when you walk past the guys that can't fly biggies?
No, I've got no ego. They're all the same. They're all the same.
Small egos.
Yeah, good. All right, Jeff. So we understand that we're going to board. It gets taxied to a hangar close by, and then we'll all have a drink from the cart and then jump out at some point. Just question, with the taxiing, is the pilot doing anything? It just looks like someone's towing them up the front.
Well, look, that's probably a closely guarded secret. But yes, in this case for the party, we will be towed down to the hangar. We won't actually be taxiing the aircraft.
So Hamish could be the pilot.
I don't think CASA, our Australian regulator, would approve him to be the pilot for that.
Okay, I'll do it.
But you, Andy, on the other side, I don't know.
Fast and loose is not what you want in the cockpit. But, I assume there's things up there that you still can't, no handbrake, things like that. Like there's still buttons to push even though you haven't turned the keys on.
Yes, quite correct. So even whenever the aircraft is moving, there's always we've got to make sure we maintain a high level of safety. Mm-hmm. So it is important that we have qualified people sitting in the front, just in case.
Jeff, do you see how I noticed that stuff? So maybe I am a good candidate.
Well, this is very true. I am impressed so far. There will be a quiz at the end of this conversation to see how much you took on board.
Jeff, have you ever used an emergency slide?
Well, thank goodness no, but of course we are trained, so all the Rex crew are trained to descend down the slide, but I've never used one in anger, and of course I don't think you or any of your listeners would be keen to use one in anger either, of course.
No, we just want the thrill of it. Yeah. Is it exciting going down the slide?
Look, it is exciting. So we'll be jumping out of the biggie. The floor height's around about 3 metres. So you'll be jumping down. The slide's designed to take about 60 people per minute. We won't be doing that, of course. We're going to make sure that all your listeners have a great time on board. So we're doing it in a nice, controlled
luxury.
manner.
Yeah.
Luxury. And it's over quite quickly. It's lean forward, grab your knees, and before you know it, you're at the bottom.
How is
60 people a minute? Is that 1 per second or 2?
Yeah, about 1 per second. Yeah, 1 per second. Yeah.
Right, so you're really pumping it. It's like a BB gun.
How are your ankles at the end of it, Jeff?
My ankles are great.
Yeah, great. Did you do any?
So I know how to make sure to put my toes up.
Toes up, okay.
Is that the trick? Toes up. Okay.
The toes up is the trick.
Okay, we'll yell that before we go down. I think that's all the questions we have at this stage.
This is fantastic.
This is so exciting. Jeff, we hope that you're our pilot. We'll gather a bit more info as we go, but we just wanted to confirm with someone from Rex Airlines because we've announced that we're not having anyone on from Rex on the show. So thank you very much for joining us, bud.
Absolute pleasure. Look forward to talking soon.
See you.
Oh, can't wait, mate. Eyes up, toes up. Ando. As we mentioned, slide parties back on.
Yes.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Hundreds of years after it was first discussed on the show.
Do they still have slides? Do planes still have slides? I thought they may have invented another emergency escape, but no.
Just the whole, no, they've still got them. We're probably coming in here at the last piece of, the last bit of the slides ever to be used. But it's still just as exciting as ever, as we pointed out. Excitement's sky high.
Strengthen your ankles.
In order.
Everybody.
Strap up your ankles, strengthen them now. Start doing some toe raises. Get your ankles strong if you are coming on the slide party. We also, for many years on the show have done special skills.
Yes.
One of the things we like to do is to talk to someone beforehand and go, is it good enough to get you in here, get a gauge of it? I've got one here that, whilst it has nothing to do with planes, just thinking ahead to what that show will be, where we're going to do the whole show from a plane that's slowly taxiing and then at the end we jump down. I assume we'll jump off the slide. just think about a bit of entertainment for the plane.
That's important.
Would it be great to have a special skill, kind of end the year with a fun special skill that everyone can watch? And so as I'm going through the emails, that's the filter I'm applying.
Great idea.
Would this be the kind of thing you'd like to see on a plane?
To pass the time. Yeah.
Again, I must stress this has nothing to do with a plane. In fact, it's very much something you would never see on a plane for reasons that will become clear. Mostly for quarantine and biosecurity reasons.
Okay.
But Connor writes in, he's 20 years old. Yeah. He goes, I can peel any banana in under 2 seconds perfectly.
Wow.
Every single time. 2 seconds.
Without it breaking.
Get out of here.
Quickly on an emergency slide.
Think about how fast 2 seconds is. So my questions to him are going to be, because we'll get him up in a second. Does he mean that banana's completely out of the skin in 2 seconds?
And intact.
Just think about how fast that has to be.
Yeah.
How's he doing this? Like, is he holding
it? See it. A whole
between the
whole
knees?
plane would love to see that.
That's what I'm thinking. If he describes us, this is the test for us. Let's chat to him. If he describes it to us in such a way that we're thinking, I'd love to see that, I think it's safe to say a whole plane would like to see that. And we could absolutely bring the house down. And having a banana on a plane is a rare thing. Not allowed to take fruit on the plane.
It might be so great that planes bring a certain person on that can do this in any delayed moment. So if you go, sorry, your plane's delayed today, and they're like, but don't worry.
Engineering problem.
It means that we'll get to see a guy unwrap a banana.
You get to see Bob the Banana Man.
Oh, yes.
He's in town. We fly him around the country. And he'll come on to do a gig. Connor the Banana Guy.
Okay, Connor's here then, I hear.
Let's get him up.
Connor, ahoy to you.
Ahoy. How are you guys?
Oh, we're great.
Ahoy, Connor.
Hey, what's the first question you have for Connor?
Is that banana, first of all, is 2 seconds genuinely the time?
Yeah, 2 seconds is like I'd say it's the average time. It gets better and it gets a little bit worse as well. But
You're
that's like the average.
You're pulling sub twos?
Oh, yeah. On a good day, I can pull sub twos every time.
Okay, how are you timing this? Because I also am in my head imagining you. Have you ever seen competitive Rubik's cubing where they have the cube in front of them?
Yeah.
They have their hands on the timing mat. As soon as they take their hands off the mat, the timer starts. They do the Rubik's cube in like 10 seconds, put their hands back down on the mat, and that's the time. That's how I'm imagining it. How do you time yourself?
Well, that's where it came from. Was I used to be into Rubik's cubing, and then it translates well to bananas.
Wow. So you've got the mat. You've got a mat.
No, I don't. But I'll just get someone to time it for me.
And does the banana start in your hand?
Yeah.
It has to. You're burning a half a second to pick up and put down.
And the banana comes out intact, doesn't it? Kind of like perfectly intact.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
No peel attached.
No peel. The banana just by itself. Yeah.
Any banana? Like, does it depend on the ripeness or?
I'd say most, like if it's an old brown one, it's a bit tricky if it's really soft or really young and the peel doesn't come off properly.
Okay. At the end of the 2 seconds, on a good peel, at the end of the 2 seconds, the banana is out of the skin.
Yeah.
Nude banana.
Completely naked banana.
Yeah.
Well, it might have underpants on, but you can't. You get a shock if you see that. How many peels are you doing?
Yeah, great question.
3, 4?
Oh, 1 to 2.
Two hands at a time? Are you holding it between your knees?
Don't tell us anymore because I think it's enough for us to put. Yeah. Actually, put him on hold for a second, please, Jack.
Yeah.
He can't hear you.
I feel like we should invite him. I think it's absolutely what we'd like to see on a plane.
What a bit.
But also, I don't
was he clear to you about does it need the stem or not on the top?
Go back to him.
So he can hear you guys now.
Okay.
Connor.
Yeah.
Do you need the stem on the top?
It's easier with the stem, but you can do it without.
Okay. Yeah, I'll phrase it another way. Describe to me your dream banana.
The dream banana would be like a big stem on top and a nice long banana and then a big bit on the bottom as well.
But not too green, I would think, because then you're not going to get any snap.
No, not too green.
Okay, so a perfectly ripe, long-stemmed, long banana.
Connor, what's the most amount of people you've done this in front of at one time?
8 people, I'd say. I was practicing last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connor, we've got a proposition for you.
Mm-hmm.
You may have heard that the emergency slide party is back on, where we'll be jumping out of at risk to our ankles. We'll be jumping out of the Rex plane and onto emergency slide coming up to finish the year.
Yeah.
We'd love you to come on and do it for the entire plane. That's if you have interest in going down an emergency slide.
I definitely do.
Well, everyone does.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, now we're going to have a slide with lots of banana peels at the top for everyone to slip. I mean, it does produce more worries for ankles. We've got banana peels all over the plane. Now it's become like a Mario Kart course. So, very dangerous for ankles, this party.
Connor, it'll be, I think, is that the first special skill we've ever done in front of a live studio audience?
Yeah.
So extra
it kind of
pressure.
has to be, doesn't it?
Connor, are you up for that?
I'm definitely up for that.
We'll obviously put you on hold and get your details and make sure you can arrive. Yep.
One more question, Connor. Did you ever see that? Do you see this fact floating around from time to time going, open the banana from the bottom. That's how monkeys do it. Have you ever heard that fact? What's your response to that?
Oh, if you're enjoying a banana, a nice slow banana, I think the bottom's the way to go. You pull the little hard bit out.
That's a slow peel, is it?
Yeah, a leisure peel.
Right.
A
So
leisure
humans,
Yeah.
if it's the off season, and you're just doing it for the love of the sport.
Yeah, not for the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but we do. I believe. I always hear that fact and go, who cares what monkeys are doing? Like they're throwing poo at each other. Like we are.
Yeah.
We're more advanced.
Yeah. They're not in competition.
Yeah, we're doing it the right way, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah,
it
I think
the faster
so.
way. And we have iPhones. We're the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Connor, we will see you in a few weeks' time, mate. Thanks very much for joining us.
Great. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. God, what a guy.
Awesome.
Can't wait. Sub twos?
In 2 weeks' time, we are going on a slide party. We are going on our emergency slide party.
Thinking about
I remember how to say I'm 12 years old and that's O Dodici Ani.
See.
Okay.
Just gotta scratch this itch.
Okay. Well, I'll bring everyone up to speed. I'll direct this to Jack then.
Yeah. Won't take
Jack,
long.
good news.
Yep.
Bon compleanno.
Well worth
Of course. I'm doing it for a 90-year-old baby.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Bringing everyone up to speed.
100% attendance.
Yeah, that's huge for the slide party.
For of the people that won tickets, 100% of them, A, are still interested, B, still aware of it, and C, available to come back.
There was
board Rex Biggie if you're interstate. Rex Airlines now doing biggies, and they'll get you to Melbourne, where the official slide party will be.
They'll get you in here, and we'll take you out and throw you down the slide. We'll allow you to gently slide, following the correct protocols down the slide.
Emergency slide, which we've all wanted to do, and every time they've given that safety briefing at the top, you look across at the slide and go, wouldn't want the panic of it,
no,
but would love the fun of a slide.
I'd love to have that badge on my scout skirt.
Yeah, scout skirt.
What do you put the badges?
Yeah, I normally
you put it on the shirt, do you?
Yes.
Just asking.
And
I thought they had a kilt. Do they ever get kilts?
No. No.
Okay. Yeah, and you put all the badges on your shirt, or do you put them on your shorts too?
No, you can't put badges on your shorts.
What will happen? I bet you could.
What will happen?
You win the Rebel badge. That's the one that goes on your shorts.
You would probably have
a meeting with Arcala.
Well, that's Cubs. That's Cubs. But yes, if it was the Cubs Scouts,
you'd have a meeting.
You would get points, probably some form of points deducted from your six, because you're in groups of six generally, for misappropriate.
But what happens if you're so
uniform
misbadging?
If you're so highly decorated that you've got too many badges for your shirt, where do they go after that?
Familiar problem for me, Jack.
So you filled your shirt up, did you? So it was like chainmail. You look like a lizard. That's scales all over you.
Yeah.
Filled your scout shirt up.
You are meant to do them on one side, and then you're allowed to travel across to the other sleeve.
Right.
But no, you wouldn't put them on your shorts.
What if? But again, Jack's question stands. What if you absolutely run out of real estate? What are you meant to do? Like have tails like a jacket?
Well, there was in Scouts and going and even higher than that. You basically you would get the same. There wouldn't be as many badges. Like there was not enough activities
to fill your shirt up.
But you had a red a blue and a green. So you could replace a red with a blue. You couldn't have a red and a blue sewing one on.
Quick, yeah.
I mean, this is more boring than the Italian
quick
stuff.
as you can. Quick as you can. A little quicker. Love you to earn your swift explanation badge. This is Andy. He hasn't got his swift explanation badge yet. Sometimes he can get bogged down in colours of badges. But he's working on a faster way to explain it.
You asked.
We did, and that's partially on us.
Can we watch Dances with Wolves?
Yeah, we certainly are somewhat culpable.
There's a lot of Kevin Costner just wandering around the paddock, but okay.
We did start that by saying that you will now have the experience of sliding down a slide. And if it was a Cub Scout activity, you get the badge. Where would you put it? On the left, on the right? What colour would it be?
That's what you're going to have. And we're going to meet, we're going to board, we're going to taxi to a hangar close by. We're going to then have the excitement of the slide going out, and then in an orderly fashion, we'll go.
Can I just say, Endo, on the 100% thing, back when we were on radio, if you had the standard kind of, we're having a singles party or there's a fashion show that the radio station's holding, you get 75 attendance, wouldn't you?
Yes.
There's always going to be people that call up in the moment
and think, yeah,
very excited.
Yeah.
Then it's 2 weeks away. As it rolls around, suddenly you don't care too much about going.
Exactly.
Easy come, easy go. So to have 100% attendance is huge.
What was the event that they put on at the radio station where they were giving people more tickets than they wanted?
Fashion.
Fox Fashion. Well, you were
Someone will ring up and
working
go,
at a station called
can I
Fox
request
Fashion?
a song? You got 2? Yeah, do you want to go to Fox Fashion? Oh, yeah, I suppose I go. You got 25 tickets? Oh, God, no, I don't even know 25 bills. 30! Keep it up, we'll give you 50. Could not get people to go.
Could not. No.
Everyone won a booklet of tickets.
People didn't want them. They were getting sent them.
Wrong numbers were getting half a dozen tickets to go to the fashion show.
Yeah. Even the complaints line probably at the radio station not giving you tickets.
Absolutely.
Which probably would lead to more complaints if you went to the event. Anyway, Ham, what I wanted to say is that obviously anytime you get on a plane, there is a safety video.
Yep.
And we haven't considered that they'll have to change the video.
Will they have to change it?
Well, because a lot of the things they're talking about won't be pertinent to us because we're not actually taking off or going anywhere.
You're right.
So I had to go.
Okay, great. Because we're just taxiing to a hangar.
We're just taxiing to a hangar. So I had to go at what potentially Rex might like to replace their normal safety video with.
Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this non-stop drive to a hangar just around the corner. On behalf of the crew, I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors above. In case of an emergency, celebrate, because that's what we're here for. Unless it's a real emergency, in which case cease all celebration. There are 6 emergency exits on this aircraft. Take a minute to locate the exit closest to you, and then ignore that, because we'll be laughing and whooping and going out the front left door. Unless there's a real emergency, in which case don't ignore that initial close exit. It may be behind you. Should the cabin experience sudden pressure loss, that would be really weird, as we are not leaving the ground. So it probably means the world has opened up and it's the end of all of us. In this instance, stay calm and listen to the instructions from your cabin crew. If Hamish lets one rip, oxygen mask will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose as quickly as possible, particularly if he's had a Nazi Goren for lunch beforehand.
Or butter chicken.
In the likely event of an emergency evacuation, leave all carry-on items behind, but carry on as much as you like on your way to the door. Make sure your ankles are secure, or at least have been preconditioned with numerous months of specific training dedicated to strengthening them. Thanks for choosing Hamish and Andy Airlines. Sit back and enjoy your small drive and hugely anticipated slide.
It's good.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
One thing I did wonder is if there's a real emergency,
no one will believe it.
Do we have a special word?
No one will believe it, will they?
No.
It'll be like, be like if you're at a Metallica concert and there was a real fire.
Yeah.
You'd be like, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like on stage. On stage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we know that Metallica, do you know what I mean? You
Yes.
think it's pyrotechnics. It'd be very hard to communicate to the crowd.
No.
This is unscheduled fire.
This is exploding.
Yep.
No.
I often wonder, I was on a plane the other day in the emergency aisle and they come down and they do the thing like, you ready to go? Give me a solid thumbs up. I was easily the most capable in the aisle. I think some of the others in the aisle were, other passengers would be hoping there wasn't an emergency. The one thing gloss over, I reckon, in that is when they go, look, have a look out the window. If there's fire or whatever, don't use this one. Go to another one. I don't think they're dealing with the psychological impact of, because if I'm next to the window, I'm first in line to get out, which is a nice feeling. It's number one deli ticket.
Yeah.
I don't think they're dealing with the psychological impact that if there just happens to be smoke out the window, you're now back of the line.
The last.
You're the last to get out. That's a blow.
Yeah.
That's a real roller coaster of emotion on top of already having the crash.
Yes.
There'll be a part of you going, okay, look, stay calm. We've crash landed. It's okay. You're going to be, you're number one. Get the door open. Help everyone else out. But you can't stand there. You have to get out.
And can you trust that the other guy on the other side's playing by the rules?
I think there would be a small part of me. I think there's some grey area for interpretation there. It should be you look out the window, and if you see smoke or debris, go to another exit. But if it's seeming like it's jam-packed in the plane and no one's really moving, use your best judgment. Like roaring flames, obviously that's a no-no.
Yeah.
But if you think you could get around it, you would be back at the front of the line. That's a nice place to be.
Haim, next week. Final show of the year.
It is.
We're going to be doing the emergency slide party. Finally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably the number one thing people thought was a peter out, and it roared back to life a month or two ago. And we will be taking people down the emergency slide off a big plane, 747.
Yep. The doors will be flung open, the slide will be inflated, and then we'll yell, evacuate, evacuate, evacuate.
But you won't see panic.
No.
You'll see glee. As people slide down the slide that we've all thought about sliding down in our lives, and finally we get to do it.
That's a nice little present before the government come in and try and shut us down for the government-mandated break.
The letters continue, the back and forths continue. We won't bother you with the legal chat, but one thing that is available, Ando.
Another little present.
Is, of course, the Remembering Project.
Yes.
This is our other podcast that we've done. Sometimes it's only on Listener, but at the moment, now those episodes are available everywhere.
Yes.
Where we sit down and we pick a date in history and we look back at all the possible shows we've done. Sometimes it's like 8 shows across 2 decades.
Our producer was so great back then, they'd write one sentence describing the break. So we have 28,000 talk breaks with a single sentence describing each of them. And we look at them and try to remember what the hell we were talking about.
Now, with one little snippet we wanted to play for you guys to celebrate the fact that now these episodes are everywhere was this is the bit we remembered back to. I think it's from about 2014.
Okay.
And it was a segment called Winds of Glory.
Wonderful.
Which is where people did amazing farts in amazing places.
I think we should bring it back for this pod, but yes.
I never remember it getting old.
We did cover it on the Remembering Project.
The 8th of August, 2014.
What's that smell? It's the winds of glory.
Now, I'd like to just point out to my mother that this is not lowbrow. No. This is actually very clever.
It's really clever.
So for you, if you're going to, after we've done this segment and you've heard it, Mum, on the way home, don't just say, oh, you don't have to do poo talk. This is
not poo talk.
No.
I mean, unless things go terribly wrong. Because it's incredible farting achievements.
Exactly.
And we are the guys that have put a very high bar on this segment.
Mum?
We've had a lot of people just chucking random toots they've done at us, and it's not good enough. They don't make it to air. We are very stringent with the farts we put to air. You have to have farted in a remarkable place. We've had farts
in front of a remarkable human.
Yes, or at a remarkable human. We've had prime ministerial farts.
Yes.
We've had the couch of friends. That's a well-documented one. Abraham Lincoln's wood cabin, etc., etc.
I don't think it was Abraham Lincoln's
I think it was his wood cabin. I think it was his birthplace that they did a fart in.
I think it was the statue. From me.
I remembered someone going to his birthplace, the wood cabin.
Okay, maybe that was in your own time.
Even though we've just given the specific rules, I'm about to nominate a man for Winds of Glory who breaks them. He has not done a fart in a memorable place, nor has he done it on a memorable person. But his timing and the effort he's gone to
another aspect
to create a spectacle is exquisite. He joins us now. LJ, how are you, mate?
Boys, how's it going?
Would you like to enlighten Andy as to what you've been up to?
2010, 11, 12, and 13, New Year's Eve. The very last thing I've done for the year is a fart.
Wow. Wow. So how many years? 4 years?
4 years.
4 years running.
So I assume you time it to the countdown?
Yeah, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fart. Happy New Year.
The last bit of business.
Now,
to leave,
LJ
it's like just making the post.
Was the first year, obviously by accident. Oh, first year you had one, you went, hang on, this would be funny, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and then second year round, it just kind of happened again. I was like,
we now have a trend.
Yeah, exactly.
We now have 2 plot points.
That's how traditions start in many cultures.
Do your friends know about what's going on, LJ? Like, do they?
No, I've never told anyone until the Winds of Glory.
Oh, that's a nice place to announce it. So there'd be extra pressure now on bringing in 2015.
Yeah, I'm going to get weird looks this New Year's.
Yeah.
When the countdown starts.
Well, the big question is, are you going to do it again?
Hopefully. I'll try. I'll do my best.
Well done, LJ. Best of luck. Well, of course.
Everyone's going to be thinking of you
if
this
the show's
New
going again next year, I suppose we'd have to have him show segment one.
Very first show of next year, we're going to have you on to see if you've completed 5 in a row.
What's that smell?
Thank you.
It's the winds of glory.
As with many things on our shows, we forgot to call him back the next year, but we did call him
8 years later
on the Remembering Project. You can see how that went.
We won't give it away, but we will say he was aware. He hadn't forgotten about it.
He hadn't forgotten about it. You can check it out. Just type in Hamish
Tell you what,
Andy
Ando.
to the podcast. What do you have podcast apps? Spotify as well.
Strengthen your ankles, boys. Do your last calf raises because we are heading to the slide party next week.
Yep.
Huge show to round out the year. There is a chance we'll be shut down mid-broadcast from the government because it might go too long and incur into the government-mandated break. But if your pals Hamish and Andy can promise one thing, and Jack, we promise this, we will fight to the absolute death to keep that show on before the bastards shut us down. Join us for the resistance next time.
We'll see you then.
A listener production.
Activate your internet, because the Hamish and Andy podcast starts in 3, 2... Sorry, still buffering. 1. Hello, passengers, and welcome to an event seemingly decades in the making.
If you'd like to hear the first time the slide party was mentioned, you need to go back 18 or 19 months.
We are boldly attempting to laugh in the face of some peter out.
Faded out, petered out, and has come roaring back.
As finally, all pre-flight checks are complete.
Is this about the slide?
And we get ready to take to the skies. Or rather, the road before the skies and then a hangar. Fasten your seatbelts. Administer one last piece of protective strapping tape to your ankles. And get ready for Hamish and Andy's Slide Party.
Slide. Ahoy to my PIC, pilot in command, commonly known as Captain Hamish.
Reporting for duty, although you would report to me probably. How are you?
I'm good. Ahoy to my SIC, second in command, commonly known as First Officer Jack.
Ahoy, boys.
Sixth in command, maybe?
I'll just be cabin crew today, but yes, we're on a biggie.
And
thanks to Rex.
Can we also say an ahoy to everybody else on the plane?
Making dreams come true if you had a specific dream, which was to go out of an emergency slide in a plane.
Here we are. We're in row 6.
Yep.
Very in touch with the common man.
Yep.
Ooh, must be nice up there, business. Although you've kept the curtain open, which we appreciate.
I think it's only because we haven't taken off yet.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they will definitely.
You may look back upon those that you have superseded. And we're set up here, Ando. We're about to taxi out to do the business of sliding. We held up the bell that we use on the show before.
Yeah.
Huge cheer for the bell.
Didn't realise it was such a hero in the show.
I mean, watch this. Let's hold it up again. Hey, guys, the bell.
It does indicate that they would like the break to finish more often than not.
Yeah, he's getting the bell. It's nearly over.
Our ramblings go too long. Hey, moments ago we boarded the plane. You made your first ever address. Well, we made our first ever address on the cabin onboard system.
On the phone.
Yeah. Let's have a listen to how that all went down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain's hats wearing friends, Hamish and Andy speaking. Welcome to this, the inaugural, and probably, let's face it, only, I mean, I don't think we're going to do this every year, the inaugural Hamish and Andy Slide Party Plane!
Please ensure all your baggage is stowed and your ankles have been strengthened. Last ankle exercises, please do them right now because you're going to need it at the end of the slide.
Today's flight will not happen. We are just going to push back and going to roll slowly to the hangar, at which point there will be one of the doors open and you will slide gleefully onto the concrete where your ankles will easily absorb the velocity of your body and you shall walk away with completely intact ankles, almost certainly.
We've been told not to use the term evacuate. So I'm just going to ask you, what should we say when we're about to deploy the slide?
Hop off, hop off, hop off. out your pop, that's what I use with the kids.
Hop off quickly.
Okay, we're not going to use evacuate today because, of course, we're going to use the term hop off quickly.
So once you hear us say hop off quickly 3 times, actually, at your leisure, we'll wander up here.
Now, normally we would say do not take your valuables with you, but because Jack will be the last man off the plane today, just to avoid any chance of weaseling from Jack going, well, I mean, they obviously didn't want them because they didn't take them with them, do take absolutely everything that has meaning with you, otherwise it's his.
Slide well, slide true. We'll see you on the other end of it.
Are your ankles be firm? Good day. All right, now we're back in the seats as we're about to taxi out to the hangar.
Good leg room.
Good leg room. Great leg room. Big in leg room.
I think
as
this
well
is more
as
than I would. Normally, my knees would touch the.
Yeah, you
seat
touch the
front,
back. Yeah,
but no, fine.
on a biggie, it's roomy on a biggie.
Yeah,
I guess is what we're learning.
Well done, Rex.
Can I mean, there's so many amazing. We've got so many amazing listeners of the podcast on board already. Some great barbs being thrown.
Yes,
you and I got captain's hats.
Yes,
given to us by Rex. Jack desperately wants one.
No, I don't. No, I don't actually.
Well, you
actually
do.
don't.
You
No,
do.
I don't.
You actually do.
You look like when the kids get to go up to the cockpit, you honestly look like you got toys out of a show bag.
Well, they're actually the professional level of captain's hats.
It looks like the ones they give to children.
Well, you're offending the captains then because they're the real captain's hats.
Jack's gone, how come I don't get a captain's hat? And just across the aisle in seat 5C, if I'm not mistaken, came the comment, well, it's just a hobby for you. So why would you get a captain's hat? I mean, this is a career for us, Jack.
Yes.
Just a hobby for you. Also, Sam, who's sitting behind us in, what's that, 7F.
How's the anticipation, Sam?
I was very eager to be here today.
It's huge. Sam, can you pass me what you've put in every seat pocket in the plane? Oh, look at this. Everyone had it with their meat pie and sausage roll. Sam napkin ninja'd the plane.
Oh, wow.
What a flashback to when I bought 50,000 Hamish and Andy napkins.
And we didn't know what to do with them.
And we did know what to do with them. We sent them out to napkin ninjas like Sam.
Obviously in bulk because he's filled the whole plane with them.
Sleeper Sterling waiting. Also, my wife wanted me to get rid of him, so I thought I'd bring him along today.
Ninjas are under many pressures.
A familiar feeling for you with a wife wanting you to get rid of impulse purchases.
Great to see those, Sammy. Well done.
Haim, we're just pushing back now.
Yeah, we're rolling.
We're
rolling.
Will
Oh my
essentially
God.
be towed to a hangar nearby.
Before the
very rare do you get a whole plane to yourself. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth, Oprah, she would experience this, but I doubt that they would get full access to a slide. So it's just nice to be better than Chris Hemsworth today.
It is, isn't it? Hemsworth's not sliding off his plane, and I think, as we heard, the excitement of knowing that very soon. Those famous words, quickly hop off, quickly hop off, quickly hop off.
Just like the movies.
Just like the movies will echo throughout the plane and we will quickly hop off down the slide. And you're last man out, Jackie. You okay with that?
So you didn't tell me that. I only heard that for the first time over the announcement.
Yes. Well, usually it's captain's last, but...
Yeah, we thought these captains should go off first.
That's the opposite to what Sully, that great movie about the captain who landed in the Hudson River, he actually waited to last.
Put our hands together for the stars of today's plane party, Hamish and Andy.
Hey, that's nice.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
In addition, I'd like to formally introduce you to your flight attendants. At the front, we have Jess.
Good on you, Jess.
Jess likes long walks on the beach, margaritas, and having a good time. And for those that are interested, Jess is single.
Wonderful.
In the middle, all the way from the tropics of Norfolk Island, we have our Tahitian princess, Cindy. Cindy is also single.
Oh, really?
Towards the
single
rear, we
requirement for
have
this
Ash
plane.
from the land of the long white clouds. He loves a man in uniform, and Ash is also single.
All right. That's the man. I hope there's
Also
beds in the
joining
hangar.
us in the rear, we have Julia, and guess what? She's single.
Yes.
And we've got Katie, but she's married.
Oh.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, can divorce.
Now that we've got your full attention, we'd like to demonstrate the safety features of this Boeing 737
Yeah,
aircraft.
we know
It is
what
a
they are.
requirement to follow crew instructions at all times.
Sure.
If an evacuation is required, all cabin baggage must be left on board the aircraft.
Oh, debatable.
In your seat pocket, you will find a cabin safety information card
Mhm.
which shows the brace position and other important information on what you should do in the unlikely event of an emergency.
Very likely, actually.
I think it's a certainty.
I think if you guys don't deliver on
Your
this,
seatbelt should
there's
now
some
be securely
disappointed people.
fastened
Sorry.
low and tight around your hips.
Yeah, it's
Fasten
weird
the
that we still have to put our
seatbelt by
seatbelts on,
placing
isn't
the
it?
clasp
Well, I
into
mean,
the metal
we're
buckle
moving
like
at the
this.
moment, so it's gonna
To
happen.
tighten, pull the strap outward. There are 8 emergency exits on this Boeing 737 aircraft, one of which will be sliding down today. Your crew will now point these out. Your crew will now demonstrate how to safely exit the aircraft using the slide. You must sit upright and lean slightly forward. Place your hands on your knees with your knees and legs slightly apart.
Yep.
On reaching the bottom of the slide, stand up and move well away.
Yeah, yes.
Please observe the fasten the seatbelt sign. When the seatbelt sign is illuminated, you must remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. This is a non-smoking flight.
stop us from
It is a
sliding.
federal offence to smoke on board this aircraft. This includes
Andy,
use of electronic
Andy,
as an emergency. Smoke detectors and alarms have been fitted in the lavatories. We do thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your Hamish and Andy plane party.
Incredible. Incredible.
Now, you heard that, Ando. We've got hundreds of eyes on here watching you if you go to the toilet. There are smoke detectors in there, e-cigarettes, vapes. Even if you scrunch one up and eat it, we'll know.
I have never smoked in my life.
You haven't smoked yet on board, and I thank you for that. It's both true.
Look, we've got to thank Melbourne Airports and Rex because this is actually much harder to pull off than we first thought. With a lot of our ideas are like that. When you realise the logistics, they actually have to get a little flight push-away time. And
there'll definitely be like a Qantas plane behind us or something that's like, what are these guys doing? And you're like, oh, sorry, we're just going to a hangar for a slide for shits and giggles.
But they did send through to everybody on board the plane a few rules about the sliding.
Yeah, they did.
To ensure no puncturing, no jewellery. I've chosen a tracksuit pant to slide in today. Where you prefer a jean?
I've gone a jean because I like to simulate a real-world environment.
Yes.
And I often travel in a jean. How about you, Jack?
I've gone jeans, but I've gone a comfortable walking shoe. Whereas, see, Hamish, I feel like you've got too much of a fancy shoe on.
Well, that's just a regular kind of a Chelsea, like a Blundstone type boot.
I feel like your ankles could easily roll in that, whereas
No.
mine have
These
got
have
no
ankle
chance.
support. Yours, I've never seen you wear those sneakers in your life. Did you bring
I didn't
old
buy
sneakers?
them just for today.
But did you bring expendable sneakers?
No, I like these. Are my new favourite pair of sneakers.
Well,
How long for?
2 months.
Did you buy them online?
No, I went to Rebel Sport.
Right, so you picked these out.
Well, I actually went to they're Asics. If we no brand association.
No surprises that you're mentioning a brand name.
I had to pay full price for them, but I went to get Nikes or Adidas, and she convinced me to try these on. She said they're a lot more comfortable.
And are they?
They are.
Okay. Great.
I'm sure we had a few more minutes of taxiing and sneaker chat.
Haim, episode 200.
Yep.
We said we'd do 40 shows for 40 years. Eighth of the way through.
Yeah, we're getting there. We are now. We're back in row 15. This will be very foreign for you, Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
I spend way more time at the back of the plane than you guys.
No, because of your back problems, you insist on going business class, and then you weasel the free ones through Bianca's uncle.
Yeah. Come on, mate. Don't make us expose it.
Remember?
Yeah, but domestically, I always go economy.
Yeah, okay. Of which we'd recommend Rex now doing biggies.
Absolutely.
Also, we'd like to thank Melbourne Airports for putting us together. Wherever you are in the world, try and use Melbourne Airports.
Even if you're connecting through, say, New York to London.
No matter what you're doing, think garage doors, think Melbourne airports. Doesn't matter what product. Looking for a comfortable shoe this summer? Think Melbourne airports.
Loose ends.
Actually, not that many loose ends because we're a pretty efficient show.
Well, peter outs there will be plenty we ignore and won't bring up here, but loose ends. A lot of people have been emailing me asking me what happened to Wolf the fish.
It was upside down for a while. You were massaging it at one point.
Massaging it daily to try and get it to fart. Did I mention to you guys that it had to have salt baths?
No.
Isn't that just the ocean? Just put it in the ocean. Let it go. Let it go.
So the next bit of advice from the fish vet, who again I think has another job because he only operates after hours, you got to give it 90-second salt baths. So in between massaging it, I was giving it salt baths. It did do a fart and righted itself, but then
how big was the fart?
Oh, one bubble.
Yep, nowhere near enough to impress anyone.
No.
And then
48 hours later, it left.
That was its last gasp.
It left this world now.
Rest in peace. Sorry to hear it.
So the fart was keeping it alive. It was the fart of life.
Yeah. Or
that
it was
might have
so
been
satisfying that it just was like,
I've done it all.
That was the bucket list.
That was its soul.
Yeah.
Maybe that was its soul.
I thought, well, that's it. I guess we will put it in the bin or something. But
Then isn't this where the fish vet comes in and goes, I'd like to offer you the $1,200 fish burial service?
If he had, Beck would have taken it. But Beck was very upset. As you know, she can be quite an empathetic person.
Sure.
So she insisted on a burial down the coast. So we had to travel with a fish down the coast.
To the beach. That seems cruel.
Yeah, it's where you would have wanted to be.
You spent your whole life dreaming about this place.
It's very tricky parking a 40-metre jet into a very narrow spot. So we're just adjusting that now. Shouldn't be too much longer at the power.
Oh, yeah, no worries. We're just doing loose ends.
He's tying up one of his own loose ends at the moment.
But that is true. So isn't that sad for the fish to go, I've dreamed of this place and you kept me imprisoned in a glass jar?
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Or you go, how nice to suddenly return to somewhere that you should have been.
Yeah, that's okay.
Beck buried the fish in a Dior box.
Oh,
and then,
my God. Must be nice to be a fish.
And then as I dug the small trench and tried to make sure the dog didn't get to the fish, as we patted it down and it was under the earth, Beck turned to me and said, can you say a few words? Which I wasn't expecting. But that's what happened to Wolf. I did say a few words, not worth repeating because I can't remember them.
Would you like to say a few words? Yes, I would. Without smirking? No, then I can't. Okay.
Any other loose ends?
Loose ends. Since we're talking about peter outs, had a few questions already on board. What is happening with our stained glass design for St. Peter Out?
Yes.
Are any churches taking it? Are we making the small amulets, the small small necklaces that would indicate to other members of the sect that you two are a fan of grand promises and then sometimes with a limited follow through?
Yeah. Never
Can I just say absolutely still on the front burner, all systems go, still firing on all cylinders there. Really, a lot of thinking about that.
Heaps of things.
That's still a going concern. I'm not giving up on St. Peter Out. St. Peter Out is not a Peter Out. Yeah. Let's get those necklaces in 2023. Woo! I'll take it.
Hamish loves that when we're doing something in public, because no matter what he does, he yells out and says, whoa, and then it finishes whatever he's discussing.
But you got to remember, I'm dealing with people that are fans of Peter Outs. So for them to even do a woo is huge.
That's true. Anything else?
A lot of people asking about the Chomp Choir, but we know that we absolutely just didn't go ahead with that. Took those teeth out. I mean, to be honest, guys, that at one stage, that was a front runner for the last show of the year. Remember the Chomp Choir?
Yep.
How much happier are we? We're about to go down an emergency slide than at the Sydney Chompra House. Listening to what was honestly 11 people go...
Jingle bells or something.
Just doesn't have the effect. So glad. I mean, that's why some Peter Outs are great.
Yep.
That was a wonderful Peter Out this year.
Another loose end. Dyson never came back to us with those.
I was going to bring this up. I wondered at what point does a weasel request turn poisonous? And when can we start having a go at Dyson?
I think we do it now.
There's something in the wind already about Dyson.
I'd like to have a go at them. Yeah. Have people seen that ad where there's the laser that like illuminates, or like the laser
Dust in
detecting?
front. Yeah.
It gives the impression on that ad that it is like scanning the floor like a cyborg, going vacuum over here, vacuum over there. It's just a light.
Yeah.
It's just a light.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong in going, I got excited when I saw that ad thinking, it's got like technology to scan the floor. It's a light.
Yeah, it's a light. It doesn't
even if it was scanning the floor, if it saw dust,
that's what it
just suck it up anyway.
It illuminates the dust in front of the head of the vacuum cleaner. If the vacuum cleaner is traveling in that direction, you're going to vacuum that floor.
Exactly.
I have never halted the vacuum cleaner, scanned ahead and gone, not worth the effort. Unless I can see what's down there at floor level, I think we'll just back it up from here and we'll call it a job done. You're moving the full thing around anyway. So Dyson, there's plenty more where this came from.
Yeah,
so this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to my problems with you.
Yes.
So get us on side.
You're on alert.
Or 2023, we will put our dust bags of criticism on reverse and we will fill up the room with a huge cloud of problems.
And all the lasers in the world couldn't stop us.
Our management got sent this, Ham. Just found out that Hamish and Andy have been reaching out to Dyson for the cordless vacuum for a while now, so she was aware.
Yep.
My client, Millet, would love to come to their rescue and offer and offer the Triflex Cat and Dog HZ2 cordless vacuum.
Just to Hamish and Andy?
I'm sure you should get one to Jack.
Make sure, can you write back just before?
Please let me know if you think Hamish and Andy are interested. So are we
just Hamish and Andy?
Yes, that's at the moment.
I think they mean the Hamish and Andy show and members thereof.
It doesn't say that,
does it? So do we want to go back to Lauren from
Millionaires.
Or do we want to just stick with kind of bullying Dyson?
I think this really puts it in Dyson's court, doesn't it? To go, you've got Miele's interested. We're skeptical of the laser technology.
Yeah.
We're swayable.
We've got a government-mandated break coming up, but it gives you 3 months to have a think about it.
Yeah. I mean, if Miele could sneak one forward, because that would be a good present for Mum.
Yeah. And I'm not just saying this, but I am already pro-Miele.
What a great coincidence. What an interesting time to air that factoid.
What other?
I have a Miele oven and it does a great job.
Well, imagine no longer do you have to put the dog in the oven to get its hair off. Now there's another Miele thing that can do that, Jack.
Any other loose ends?
Look, a tiny one. A few people asking, like, is the Health Star rating investigation still going?
Of course.
My answer to that is always.
Yep.
Always. This will never be a closed investigation until the Health Star people
like
came
Russia.
out.
You just keep an eye on them.
I'm just always looking, guys. We can't ever give you really a clean ticket until you come out and go, okay, yes, we either make it up or we're having a bit of a laugh or...
This is the Health Star, not Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, if we could get Putin on the show saying that, okay, we made up the pretext. I mean, the slide would be great, but an admission from Putin would be huge as well for show 200. But when the Health Star people come out and go, okay, there has been dodginess at play, then perhaps I'll stop this intense pressure. Until then, I will be bringing evidence like this to the fore.
Oh, a new one.
Yeah.
Great.
I've got 2 competing packs here, 2 packs of the same product. It's the Berry Quelch frozen fruit juice icy tubes, right?
Okay.
Like you put them in the freezer, give them to kids after school, or the grown-ups if they're hungover, or whatever. You've got in one pack, right, tropical flavour. Okay. I'm actually just going to use a bit of audience participation here. What's your name, mate?
Hamish.
Yeah, that's me. Recognise you from the meetings.
Seems like a plant.
No, that's my name. You're not from the Health Star organisation. Okay, so can you have a look? Tell us what you can see on the top picture here. Yeah. How many stars?
5.
And what's the flavour?
Natural tropical flavours.
Okay.
Yep. Now, have a look under here.
Wow, yeah.
And again, same product.
Yeah.
What flavour?
Foreshadowing. That's 2.5.
Yeah, wow. 2.5 health. I was saving that for the end.
Sorry.
Come on home. What flavour's that?
The flavour is apple berry.
Now, Andy, guess how many health stars? When do you hear this bombshell? How many health stars the apple berry flavour is compared to the tropical, and they're identical products?
Get ready.
Yeah.
2.5.
What? Whoa. 2.5 stars. Ando, look at that. It's the same product.
99% fruit juice in both of them. They're 4 natural flavours.
How is this happening?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got, again, no answers, just questions for the health stars.
Yeah.
Some people claim, oh no, remember the health star people said, oh no, we changed the algorithm. And that one might have been produced before the changeover.
I don't think so.
How bad's your algorithm?
There's half
you're
the health.
2.5 stars off.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Super Duper Bubblegum Milk's still out there getting 4 stars. Poor old sour cream's getting a half.
Yes.
What's going on out there?
We can't stop and we won't stop.
We won't stop. Who does the health stars? The government, right?
Yeah.
Who are the mongrels that shut us down for 3 months every year?
Yes.
Oh, who are they?
The government.
The government. Now, you look at this and you go, because we're digging so deep on the health stars.
Maybe that's why they're shutting us down.
I wonder why they shut us down. What are they doing for 3 months of the year? Silencing us.
Yeah.
Silencing us.
Yeah.
Why? Because we got too close to the truth on the health stars. Will we be silenced?
No, we will. We've got to take a break.
Oh, yeah. So will we be silenced?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. See how reluctant it was? We will be reluctantly silenced.
Haim dollar offer is available, or $2 during the festive season.
$5 if you catch us at a G'day Parks.
Yeah.
Any one of the parks around Australia you can book
Yes.
using the G'day Parks Apple website.
Mm-hmm.
$5. Catch us in the water slide, in the parents' area.
There'd be one with a ball pit.
Yep, there
$10
would be.
if we're in a ball pit.
I see a lot of... you know what? $1,000 if you can find me in the ball pit. I'll be hiding in a ball pit over summer. Let the hunt begin.
And
I think a few of them have age restrictions. So $1,000 and a meeting with management. So we do there, you know.
To start your hunt for Hamish, though, you better visit g'dayparks.com.
Well, I think we're giving the wrong idea here. It's cabins, caravan parks, glamping. Like it's not actually. I don't know if there's the ball pits isn't what they're selling it on.
No.
I do see a lot of water slides and water areas.
Yes.
Tell you that what
great rec for families.
Yep. Find me hiding under the bed in a cabin.
Call security.
Call security. And on the way out, once you've calmed down, I'll that's how you get the grand. So always, that's a fun little thing over summer. Have a look under the bed in the cabins at G'day Parks. If you find me and Jack, $2,000.
G'dayparks.com.au or download the app to book a getaway to get a chance to find Hamish.
Do you want to bow, guys? No, thanks, mate. Just out your hole. Okay, we're back at the front of the plane because we promised plane-worthy entertainment.
Yes. And we've got an X-Men amongst us. A person with a special skill obviously went to hamishandy.com where everyone must go if they've got something that is not being properly recognised by society. Connor, welcome.
Thank you.
And you can unpeel a banana in, was it under 2 seconds?
Under 2 seconds on a good day, yeah.
Sub 2 was the promise.
Yeah, sub 2.
Now,
is today a good day?
Well, it's a good day, but it's pretty hot in here, and Andy's waft of cigarettes isn't helping either. So
you got a head spin, passive head spin.
Yeah, it's a good day, but
You're nervous?
I'm really nervous.
Well, I mean, who here wants to see a man peel a banana in under 2 seconds? Woo! Banana.
Skin a banana. Connor's the best by far. Yeah, a banana. And he reckons under 2 seconds. Banana.
It is plane-worthy entertainment.
Now, we've got one of these touch pads that they use for
cup stacking and
Rubik's Cubes and stuff. So both your hands will be on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it releases, you'd have to pick up the banana, then skin it.
Actually, you could start with the banana in your hand and your like wrists
Pressure on both.
are on the pads. Let's get this. I mean, first of all, you asked if you could bring your own banana. I smelled a slight rat, and I was like, yeah, you can if we can inspect it. But you didn't even bring your own banana. These are Hamish and Andy supplied bananas.
Yep.
Because we were nervous that you might get the banana equivalent of stripper pants, where it just comes off straight away.
I thought about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Up all night velcroing the seam of a banana.
So, Connor, would you normally do it seated or standing?
I'd normally do it standing, but I can give it a go seated.
Well, I want him in match condition. I know he spent a lot of money on this thing, but try to get a stopwatch.
Let's just do a stopwatch.
Yeah.
Jack, do you want to time it?
I'll time him.
Jacko, you get your phone, you time it. Let's go from the moment...
Jack says go.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we do it from the moment the skin is compromised?
I think that's hard.
But then that could include bending, which is part of the opening process.
I think Jacko will just give us a standard ready, set, go.
Yep.
And then, when is it over? When would you deem the banana peeled?
Oh.
Well, when Jack sees a nude banana.
No peel touching actual banana.
Yep.
It's stopping. Okay.
You stop.
How many goes am I getting?
Ooh, I thought one.
I think 1 for an 8 coin and 3 for a 1 coin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We like his guts.
Yeah.
1 for an 8 coin.
Okay, take centre stage in the aisle. Hamish and I will go an
luck.
aisle either side. Have you got yourself a banana?
No. Oh,
okay,
there it is.
Okay, there's plenty to choose from there.
All right.
Now, just for everybody at home, he started holding it almost like
a sad face.
A sad face, yeah.
Or like in the rainbow position, the upside down curve. Both ends, I can see a lot of pressure through those thumbs.
A PlayStation controller almost at either side if you were picking it up at either end. And I thought you'd be peeling from one top, but you're taking from both sides.
Wait and see.
I like his prestige.
Andy, I mean, yeah, Copperfield's here to perform magic, not tell you how he does the trick.
Okay, Jacko, are you ready, Connor?
Yeah, Connor, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, go like that.
Okay.
So it goes on the 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's a misfire.
Yeah.
It is a misfire. It's a banana.
It's stopping
It's
there.
a banana.
8 seconds.
Yeah, bad start.
That's a banana. Okay. He's now lost the chance.
Coin.
Although we know what you're going for now, and I'm excited by the possibilities.
What happened? Banana selection? Clap your hands?
I think it's just sitting in the heat of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They are a tropical fruit. So
What do you need?
A bit of luck.
Okay. I'll give you that.
we kind of know what we might see here now, don't we? And it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's something we haven't seen before.
How are you feeling about that bananas?
Oh, it feels good.
Okay.
Yeah,
the other one, I would say
one.
the banana you've just chosen would be, the other one was slightly older. This is a less ripe banana, but it still feels in the mix.
Yeah. It's a bit more bent, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Really? A straighter banana's easy?
Yeah.
Okay. For any young banana fans. Jacko, on your count.
3, 2, 1, go.
It was incredible. Andy's eating the banana. Hamish is eating the banana.
It's a real banana.
Well done.
Thank you.
Connor, how relieved are you?
Oh, I'm really relieved.
My God, and I can't believe that was 1.68 because time seemed to stand still in the middle there.
It feels a lot longer than you think.
Connor, you got yourself a coin. Congratulations for not being the Simpsons guy, particularly on our last episode.
Mate,
for the
you're
year.
the banana guy.
Yeah.
You did it. You can't, talk about World Cup clutch ability. You did it on the slide party in front of a packed plane. I mean, was that plane-worthy entertainment? Yes, it was.
And the other benefit was it was the kind of thing that was either done or not done in 2 seconds, which is much better
appreciated.
if you're doing that multiple times because, boy, have we had to sit through some.
It can drag on.
Yeah, it can drag on.
So really, and I love there's just banana debris everywhere.
Yeah.
That was
well
outstanding.
Done, well done.
Well done, sir.
All right, Haim, time for Tell Us Someone We Haven't Thought Of for a while.
Hardest time of the year to do it. Last show of the year. We've had all year to think.
Yes.
But to be fair, I haven't thought of anyone since June. just to clear my mind, to give maximum chances for winning hats today.
For those playing along, big news for the first time ever, and the first ever Must Be Nice hat is available. Ooh. It's actually the only one available because, as you would have known, we're encouraging people to give a screenshot this Christmas because they can only arrive in January.
Give a screenshot now, get a hat then.
Lay it there. So, like tickets to a great concert, fun to know you've got it on its way. That's one of the hats available. Second available is the worst beanie we've ever seen in our lives.
Oh.
You might be familiar with this. Physio Creme. Put it on your head and have no friends.
Absolute friend repellent.
Haim, get into golf hat.
Too late.
Which I don't, which has been sent in. I'm not sure if anyone would be encouraged if they saw someone wearing that to get into golf.
Yeah,
it's bright green.
From what I gather, the way that you signal that you're a cool golf person is to have 11 hats,
Yes.
All from the same golf company, not a hat that encourages others to get into golf because it sort of makes it feel like you're not sure either.
Yes. And finally, a bucket hat. It's got fried chicken on it called Cooked to Perfection. These are
very reminiscent of a whole lot of chickens, to be honest.
Yes. These are the 4 hats available. Good luck if you win. You get to choose one of them.
It will be a huge slap in the face if you don't pick the Must Be Nice hat. But I'll rate it.
Has anyone got a Tell Us Someone You Haven't Thought Us for a While? Hit your call bell and we're away. Yes. There we go. Okay. What's your name?
Santa.
Good luck.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Soldier Boy.
Who's Soldier Boy?
You're out.
Do you know who Soldier Boy is?
Singer.
Singer.
Is it Superman, that lady?
Can you give us a few bars?
Oh. It's like Soldier Boy, tell him, oh, when we crank that, when we roll. I don't think that's right.
No, that's,
there's a dance. There's a...
Not that I've seen.
Look, I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm out because I've never heard of the song or the boy.
I'm familiar with the young man in question. Never thought of him really as an artist. You just hear the song and you're aware of the song. So yeah, I haven't thought of the song this year. I guess that's a win.
Xana, well done.
Xana.
Now, what hat would you like to pick? You've got the Physio Creme beanie.
It's going to have to be the new merch. Must be nice.
Must be very nice.
Wow,
There you go.
weird
Well
to
done.
see it, not in a screenshot format.
Appreciate it.
Okay, anyone else got someone?
Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Straight across
What's your
the
name,
aisle.
sir?
Daniel.
Daniel, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Tanya's Aida from Who Dares Win.
Bad luck. Think of her regularly.
Pretty hard to not think of someone you got a poster of in your bedroom.
No, the unfortunate thing for you is Tanya Zayeda, when Hamish and I went to Afghanistan to do the show for the troops, she was on that trip.
The one previously.
Yes. And so anytime that I think about that trip, her name comes up as well.
Yeah. So, but we thank her for being part of the segment.
All right. Anyone else got to tell us someone? All right at the back of the plane. She must have booked late. I've
You've
dropped the bell.
Ando. That's the most famous
your
part
name?
of the show.
Kath.
Appreciate that.
Kath, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Dame Edna.
Oh, it was a trivia question yesterday. I was playing trivia with my family, and it came up what marsupial is used in her greeting. Hello, possums. Got it.
Oh, no.
So really bad luck, but yeah, I was pretty bored yesterday, and she was part of trivia.
Oh, damn.
So sorry.
That's very recent you've thought of her.
Yeah,
like
that's
yesterday.
Hours old.
24 hours?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only probably about 15 people I thought of, and she's in there. So sorry.
Bad luck. No Physio Creme beanie for you.
Great Lost
Anyone
Touch
else? We've got
t-shirt.
time for one more. Last one, Ham.
Okay.
Back here.
Physio Creme beanie still up for
tell
grabs.
us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Mr. Bean.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, quite often think of Mr. Bean. My
Doctors,
kids,
dentist. Yeah,
my kids got into Mr. Bean this year.
And if you ever watch Afterlife, which is Ricky Gervais, he's got a famous scene where they invite people to a party and his co-worker invites Mr. Bean and he says, so you get the actor Rowan Atkinson to have to be in character for the entire dinner.
Yeah.
So sorry, thought about him heaps.
And also another bad one, anytime my wife and I do French accents, I know this is an obscure one, but we'll say two things, jumps Bond, and, Mr. Bean, because during the London 2012 opening ceremony, my wife and I were in France and we had to watch it on French television. And the only thing they said in English was when James Bond got out of the car, they were like, blah, 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 James Bond. And then Mr. Bean. So that's the 2 bits the opening. Yeah, you can't, and you're not. And I applaud you on not arguing.
The beanie remains ungiven out.
Oh, and unbelievable! I can't believe we have to take that back to
a sound
our office.
effect of a bell.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're at the front of the plane. It's parked. We're getting ready to deploy before sliding. Nikki, you are in charge of letting this thing rip. How are you feeling?
Super confident.
Is this the first one you've fired off?
Yes.
What have you been told to expect when it happens?
I don't know. I really don't know. No, it's going to be probably quite loud.
Okay.
A lot of hissing, I'd imagine, as it blows up quite quickly.
Yeah.
At the moment, doors are armed and cross-checked, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
When you say doors are armed, that means like the slide is loaded.
No, locked and loaded.
So we're opening an armed door.
Yes.
And does that feel very foreign for you? Because every instinct would be to get that little bit of orange tape that goes across the window and pin it over there and actually deactivate the door.
This is a huge no-no.
This is absolutely no-go unless we are like full-blown evacuating emergency.
In which case it's a yes. And that's why it's about to be a yes. Andy, should we do this?
Okay.
So what do you do? What's the procedure? This is wild. I didn't actually think it would be this exciting.
Yeah, will we hop off quick? Is that what we say?
Hop off quickly.
Okay,
hop off quickly.
So should we yell that out?
Okay, guys, as you may have felt, the aircraft has come to a stop. And
we have checked outside. There's no fire or smoke, but there's a hot, good time out there. Trust me.
Hop off quickly.
She's checking.
She's checked. Yep. She's opened it. Oh, my God. Oh, look at that thing go!
Oh, wow!
That is awesome. And you had your arm across too, just like
safety.
And you know
I didn't
what?
want you to go out.
Good on you, because I wanted to go.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That is
so cool.
That was cool.
That is like
all right.
the world's
Let's get the heck down this flight.
biggest life jacket party popper, and they're grey. I just always thought they'd be yellow.
Yeah, amazing. That was awesome, Nikki. What can you have a round of applause for Nikki, everybody?
Guys,
actually quite extreme.
It looks good. It's what you want. Before we go down, I just wanted to say what an honour it's been for us to be on the plane with you. I'm sure we'll all make it, but I'm just going to say what an honour it's been to be here with you all. I mean, we truly believe we've got the best listeners of any podcast in the land. You guys are the best of the best for coming on board. And I just wanted to show you something. It's a premium ankle brace. I've got 2 of these. And I just wanted to send a message to the brace, to you guys. I'm not wearing it. No one needs them. You've got the strongest damn hearts and ankles in the country. Thanks for being part of the party, guys. We'll see you at the bottom. Let's slide, Ando.
Hame.
Take her away, Ando.
You sure?
Come on.
Okay.
You've done so much for this. Slide true, slide well.
Okay, I'm getting on the slide.
Okay,
It looks like a slide. It feels
Lean
like
forward,
a slide.
grip your knees.
Lean forward, grip knees.
How do you feel, Andy?
I feel like I'm sliding. And a perfect dismount.
What a landing. What a landing. I'm now stepping out of the breach.
Hame, it's the best feeling in the world.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Sitting atop of the slide, looking down at the engine. That's off. That's nice and safe. Looking down at my knees. There they are. My ankles, nice and secure. All checks are done.
Taking your time if there's an emergency. We'd want everybody off.
Don't go through this many checks if you are at the top of the slide. I'm just soaking in the moment, as I know Neil Armstrong did before he made his famous descent. And now we slide. Didn't feel a thing.
Well done. Extremely good sliding.
Didn't feel a thing.
Okay, bring them on down.
Felt a tiny thing in my knees.
Hey, fine on your ankles.
I can't even feel my ankles.
I don't think there's anything for anyone to worry about.
Mate, how good do your ankles feel?
It's amazing. Our first civilian. Oh, fantastic.
Leant a bit to the left there. What happened?
It was favouring the right ankle.
Oh, right. You had a sore left ankle, so you're like making sure it didn't come down to total that.
Just making sure we all got down safe.
Yeah, well done.
And that was pro. Well done, mate.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
How are you feeling?
Really good, and I actually strapped my ankle.
Yep.
And it's still all together.
Yeah,
so
well
not
done.
broken.
Mate, how was that? That was great. Well, wasn't it? Really, really great.
Just another day in the office. You know how it is.
Didn't think about it, just went for it. It was fun. That was really fun. Can we go again? Or
I feel high on life.
It was a nice slide. I'm happy with that.
Feeling a bit wobbly. The ankles aren't great. I'm glad to have made it.
Yeah, it was good. Easy. Any day. Love it.
Not any day, as we found hundreds of days in the making.
I did hope not.
Thrilling.
I feel like a 3-year-old at the park on the slide.
Amazing. How good's that? Better than I ever thought.
Incredible.
Best experience of my life.
It's awesome.
That was exhilarating. Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Oh, look, I just thought about my daughter. The amount of times that we've gone down slides the last couple of weeks. So
Beautiful.
Good
Nice.
training. Good training.
Should have worn the brace.
Really? Have you got a sore ankle?
I have weak ankles, yes.
Take a seat immediately.
Come over to the ankle restoration zone.
Thank you.
Did I see you close your eyes a little bit down?
Just a little. Hogs had me a bit worried after the toe story.
Yeah, I've been
I was
worried. I've been thinking about
how
that all
wrong
weekend.
did this go?
It's a lot cooler out here than it is in that plane, so it's
Yeah, I
good.
think everyone just wanted to get off the hot plate.
Yeah, that was good, mate. Better than I ever thought.
Yeah, that was great. Life-changing.
Bragging rights now. We can say we've been down one, but it wasn't as high as I thought it would be.
Thank you so much. I've been practicing holding my knees, so...
You gave yourself a small round of applause at the end of it.
If you don't congratulate yourself, who will? Oh my gosh, that was awesome! I'm happy. Thanks for making my dreams come true.
That's what we're doing here. That is what we're doing here.
I didn't want to get stuck in the middle, you know, and have to sort of push myself down.
Got your
Like,
son coming down now. Is it more nerve-wracking looking back at your son and going,
No. I've had 4 kids, so that's like, you know,
you
nothing.
could lose one?
Now, you would have obviously remembered the day that he came down a different kind of shoot.
Yes, very
What
quick.
was more special?
Very quick.
Today or...
Definitely today. Yes! That was the best thing I've ever experienced.
That's what we're after?
Living the dream. Seriously.
Seemed anxious at the time.
I was shitting myself.
You're still shaking?
I'm still shaking, but I'm like, that was worth every moment of shake, you know?
Halfway down, I saw a woman change before my eyes.
Like, who is this?
That was like a metamorphosis on the slide.
That was the best.
Like any good reality show, you've had a journey. You've been on a journey. Obviously, it only took 3.5 secones, but you've done it.
I'm a changed woman, you know?
I feel like at the top you were a pretty shy, introverted person, and now we have the bold, courageous woman we see before us.
Yeah, 100%.
Hamish and Andy, can you hear me?
Yes,
Jack, are you ready to slide?
I am the last person to evacuate this plane.
Well, we can actually see 2 staff behind you. Or checking.
They wouldn't go down before me.
Nice.
All right, count me in.
3, 2, 1, Jacko. Yes! Oh, how are the ankles? They're fine.
How many survivors did we get?
Not heaps.
Not many.
Survivors?
Yeah.
So everyone broke their ankles?
Yeah, it's a shame.
That's why when you came out, you're doing that silly stuff with the megaphone. We were like, mate, read the room. You got 100 people rolling around here screaming in agony.
Ambulances.
No, Jack, can we blow your mind? You are the last unbroken pair in a perfectly unbroken chain of ankles.
You bloody did it, boys.
What a year!
Yes!
Okay, we are down. We're off the plane. We now have all passengers safe and accounted for.
Yep.
On the count of 3, give me a cheer if you snapped your ankles. 1, 2, 3. Now give me a cheer if you did it.
100% non-snapping of ankles.
We dreamed it, but
50%
now
better than I thought we'd go. So
now,
that's-
only now can we say, was it possible?
we should thank Rex Airlines now doing biggies. I don't know why they haven't updated on their planes yet their new slogan.
When you stand away from the biggie, you do realise how big the biggie is.
It's a biggie. Melbourne Airports and Melbourne Jet Base for letting us do it in their base.
Yeah, really appreciate it. I mean, this is, of course, is where the simulation ends. Not every emergency ends with a sit-down assessment on deck chairs in the hangar with complimentary water and biscuits.
There are gift packs out the back there that you guys all have to take one of as you leave. Warning, there's Toblerone in there.
Whilst your ankles are strong, your mouths may be weak. Now, I'm fine with it. I had a test bite. I see some shaking of the head.
Yes.
I know it's a dangerous chocolate.
Jack won't be doing it, but we've been asked by Melbourne Airports if you can attempt to eat that not on the premises because they do not want to be liable.
And nowhere near the slide, like just so it doesn't pop. We wish you the best. Obviously, it'd be a terrible day. You survived the slide, but you failed the mouth fragility test. But that's the risks you take. Yeah. And I mean, all that's really left to say is thanks for another great year. Of course, we'll be back next year with the podcast.
Unfortunately, obviously, we're getting close to the government-mandated break.
We've been fighting with the government over the last few weeks to let us extend the season past 40 episodes this year. Things have got heavy. We won't bore you with all the legal details. It did get to the stage where they threatened to send an agent down to shut us down. We said you'd never. They swore at us.
Yep.
I don't think they ever would send an agent down. Uh-oh, who's this?
I'm the agent. Oh, the megaphone's not working. How do you do it?
Who's
Jack?
this?
I'm the agent from the government. I'm shutting you down.
No!
Get out. No more podcasts for 3 months.
Okay.
How do you actually
no. Terrible, Ed. Spot poll. How was my tech?
Spot on. He deserves an award.
It's no good.
We fixed it. You guys take 3 months off.
Well, no one's scared of that government agent, but thus begins the mandate. So we'll see you next year, guys. Oh no, Andy, quick, run, it's the government.
The least intimidating agent I've ever seen. Imagine the Matrix has people looking like Mike.
No, we got it now, but well, I mean, we better go quietly, Endo. The government's here.
Hands are tied. I wouldn't want to mess with that guy in the short tie.
I hope he doesn't cuff us, by which I mean handcuff, not handcuff.
Oh, great.
No, mate, it's over. It didn't work. Goodbye. Thanks, guys.